Yo, so this video actually got taken down by YouTube 2 months ago when I was given a community guideline strike. So if I get 3 of those, then I'm completely off YouTube. I don't know why I tried to appeal that decision. It didn't work, but I just decided, you know what? This video needs to be up for the entirety of summer because summer really is that big window, that opportunity that you're gonna get to change your life with something as simple as mobile detailing because the weather's good. Opportunity is ripe to absolutely crush the summer, and I knew that you needed all of this information. So let's go ahead and get into the rest of the video. Once again, make sure you're taking notes and implementing all of these steps so that you don't regret how you spent your summer.
If you're a detailer who's looking to absolutely crush it this summer, this video is for you. Whether you're making between $3,000 and $5,000 per month and you're trying to cross into that threshold of your first $10,000 month in a full-time income, maybe you're a detailer who's already established as a solo operator making between 10 and 15K per month and you're looking to scale up, get employees, get a second van, or maybe you're like me, who's making between 30 and 40K per month with multiple vans, with a crew, with automations in place, but you're struggling to get to that next level, crossing into $100,000 months and $1 million a year in revenue. This video is for you, whether you fit either of those 3 categories. Now, the reason why this video is for you is because I'm going to be walking you through the exact strategies that I used when I was 16 years old to make $10,000 per month without spending anything on ads, strictly running organic marketing through my website and SEO. And I'm going to walk you through the exact strategies that I've used to get from there at 16 years old to now, almost 19 years old, making $40,000 a month on semi-autopilot with crews. And now my next focus is going to be on crossing my first $100,000 a month and making $1 million in annual revenue. And I'm going to do that by transitioning into a shop. And I'm currently in my friend Brandon Waltz's shop here in Charleston, South Carolina. I've been shadowing him for the last week because his shop and mobile van does $120,000 per month. And what we're going to be getting into this video and what you can expect are the exact strategies that you need to replicate my success and start moving in the direction of a business that is going to change your life so you can transition away from just being a hustler and becoming a true business owner through the industry of mobile detailing. What we're going to be getting into is a full breakdown of my current problems alongside what I've used and the strategies that I've used to get to where I'm at right now, but also my current problems and bottlenecks so you can understand a better method on how to replicate my success and how to avoid some of the pitfalls I'm currently facing. And you're going to get a full breakdown of the exact solutions that Brandon has for me inside my detailing business with its current bottlenecks so that you can progress through them faster than even I have. We're going to be going through a full 2-hour live call, and you can see that there's so much value packed in this video because you can see how long it is. We're going to be going through that full 2-hour live call that I did inside my paid community, inside Driven Elite, that I'm going to be giving to you for free. That live call is my conversation with Brandon Waltz, where he's walking through the exact problems that I'm having, how he would solve them, and I honestly could charge thousands of dollars for just this video alone, but I'm giving it to you for free because I want you to absolutely eat and win this summer. Because imagine there's somebody else in the mobile detailing industry that comes into your city and takes 80% of your clientele, because that can happen. I know that that can happen because that was me last summer. I took 2 detailers out of business in my local city by dominating the market through these exact playbooks and strategies that I'm going to show you. Imagine that was you that I put out of business. You wouldn't be happy. You would have to look for the next best thing, and you would be devastated. I know that this happened because my marketing team keeps a precise eye on exactly how much traffic is going to my business, my website, my ads, and my top competitors' ads and their website, and we slowly saw their performance decline over time, and by the end of the summer, going into winter, they were out of business. Imagine that happens to you. Now think through what steps can you put in place to make sure that that doesn't happen. Because if you wait until the winter, if you wait till halfway through summer to start implementing these strategies, you're going to be too late. This video is about positioning you in a way where you can absolutely succeed this summer and scale up so that you're the detailer that, like me, took the place of other top dogs in your industry. Because ultimately, it doesn't matter how much competition there is, because only 20%, the top 20% in the industry, in your area, are going to get 80% of the results. Will you be that top 20%? Will you be the 10%? will you be the 1%? And I'm going to be showing you, before we get into that call, a series of examples of detailers that I've scaled inside my paid program. I've got 150 detailers that I've worked with across different cities, and I want to show you examples of detailers in different positions so that you can understand exactly what steps to take, regardless of whether or not you're in a small town like Bruce, who's now making $15,000 per month, who initially thought that he couldn't scale past 4K a month because his town was small and had lower income. Or maybe you're like Vincent, who's now making $35,000 per month in a larger city, but didn't know what steps to take because there was too much competition. Regardless of what position you're in, I'm going to give you playbooks that align with the exact situation so that you can dominate your area this summer. Now, the goal of this video is not to pitch you on my paid program. It's going to speak for itself. My goal for this video is to give you the systems that you need to scale, win this summer, and ultimately at some point you're going to say, you know what, this guy Hudson knows what he's talking about. He gave me so much for free. Damn sure he's got some value to provide over on the paid side. That's my vision for this video, but you're going to be getting a lot of stuff for free. If you're unable to sit through this and take notes and truly sit down, figure out what you need to do, build a blueprint, build a business plan from this video, and you're unable to build that and implement it over the next couple of weeks, go ahead and click off right now. It's not good for YouTube engagement for me to tell you to click off, but if you're not going to be able to take these systems, write them out, and start implementing them, testing and executing and getting data, I don't want you here. But if you are going to be able to sit down, make this happen, become one of those top detailers in your area locally, I want you to listen to this right now. Because I don't know if I'm going to take it down in 2 weeks, in 1 month, in 2 months, or leave it up forever. Regardless, this is for you right now. So put your hoodie up, your earbuds in while you're detailing, hustle, make some money, pause it at times, take notes, come back to it, make sure that you're really digesting all of the value that you can get here so that I don't have to place another detailer in my program inside your city that's going to absolutely smoke you. This is going to be to help you win. So let's go ahead and get inside of the business program. All right, y'all, before we get into that full live masterclass that we recorded with Brandon on how he got his detailing shop up to 100K per month and all of the steps that I need to take from where I'm at now to get to his position, I need to give you a little bit of context and a little bit of background. So that call is taking place inside of Driven Elite, which has about 160 members across the country. This is our full member map with an in-depth profile on every single member in the community. Now, that call is going to have about 70 of our members. Usually about half of our members are showing up to those Sunday live masterclasses to get all of that value. So I want to give you a walkthrough of the context of these people that are taking in that information so you can have an understanding of where that information is coming from. This is coming from a place of people that are already producing like 20 to 30,000 per month inside of their detailing business that I've already scaled up, and Brandon is coming in and injecting his new systems so that way we can continue to grow and evolve together. So I'm going to give you a walkthrough of what our one-on-one Notion dashboard looks like. This is where I'm tracking every single member's information as they progress throughout their detailing journey, right? So ultimately, I'm trying to capture data from every single market across the country. Instead of just franchising my detailing business, I'm able to capture all this information, see what works in every individual market, whether it's a small town where somebody thinks that they can't make more than $5,000 per month, and then we find the systems that get them to 15K per month, or a large city that we help them dominate, get multiple detailing vans and a shop. I'm able to see the data from all of those different places and bring all of these people up with me. Now, this is not meant to sell you on my program. Obviously, my hope here is that I'm giving you so much free information that you see all of the different holes in your detailing business and you start patching them and think in your head, wow, this guy Hudson is putting so much out on YouTube for free. What can he help me with one-on-one? Because ultimately, a large bulk of what I do here is customize and fit all of these systems to fit the given individual situation. Because information like this, even paid information like this as like a course, can only go so far because you're just receiving standardized general information, whereas this is going to custom fit and tailor those business blueprints to every individual situation. So hopefully you're finding some holes in your business throughout the next couple of hours that you can start to patch, and hopefully it builds some level of trust for me and my credibility, and maybe that'll bring you over the edge to book a call with me and work with me one-on-one. But regardless, let me just show you a little bit of what this is looking like. So Rob started with us in December of last year doing about $12,500 per month. He had actually come from a different detailing program that he had been in for the span of a year, and that was one of those programs where you join, you get very minimal one-on-one involvement, and pretty much everything is standardized information thrown at you, and you have to try to piece it together. Now, Rob was looking for something different, so we've custom built some blueprints for him over the last couple of months, worked with his marketing, and specifically gotten to him to the top of his Google profile, which I'll show you in a second, because SEO, search engine optimization, is a massive part of what we do. But just this month in April, you can see I'm recording this April 30th, he did about $32,000 in revenue, up from $12.5K. This is his dashboard showing how much he billed. So he did about $30,000 in credit card payments, and then he had about $2,000 in cash payments for the month. So that's what Rob's profile is looking like. Now, I want to show you some of the systems that we've worked on together with him. Rob is on level 2. I run everybody through 5 different levels. We start with the blueprint, go to level 1, 2, 3, and then they become an elite operator, which is basically some level of graduation. And I'm usually only working with about 15 to 20 people at a given time on this map. So most of these people have passed their like elite operator status, which is basically crossing that threshold that we initially set when we started working together. So they can begin to be more involved in the community as somewhat of a helper instead of a student. But that being said, this is what we've been building out with Rob. So the blueprint, we pretty much were starting with figuring out how to get him on the first page of Google, which now has already happened. So we type in mobile detailing Santa Monica, his Google business profile pops up number 2, his website pops up number 1. Now we built his website and we manage his Google business profile. So this is all our proprietary systems that we've gone ahead and installed for him. He has his online booking. He does this through Field. A lot of our guys are using You're Able, but Field works quite nicely as well. So this is Rob's website. As you can see, it converts a lot of traffic. It's made to target those high-income customers in his area because he is in a very wealthy area. So we're able to pull customers from Beverly Hills, from Santa Monica, from all of these different areas around him. And I can even show you some examples here later of folks that are in small towns that don't have as high income and high population, in case the thought in your mind of it is, of course, Rob's successful. He's in this, dense area with loads of celebrities and superstars. That's not just the case. It actually meant that his market was hyper competitive. It was very difficult for us to get his Google page popping up compared to some of those other businesses that had been around for 10, 15, 20 years in the area. But our level 1 strategy on that blueprint session was primarily figuring out how to ramp up his traffic because he wasn't fully booked out. From there, going on to level 1, it was figuring out how do we get a team in place. He had 1 part-time employee at the time. We built systems to get 3 people in place alongside a small shop that he rents out for like $1,200 a month. It's literally just 1 garage bay to do some baseline ceramic coatings. So we increased his ad spend, really worked on custom making those marketing systems for him, which I actually have over here. So we have our on-suite marketing team, our on-site marketing team inside Driven Elite that does website SEO, Google Ads, and Meta Ads. So there's a custom dashboard for all of those things. So we're tracking all of their data as far as those different verticals are concerned as well. And ultimately, the best way to ensure that your schedule is fully booked out as you start scaling with multiple employees is to diversify your portfolio in terms of where your marketing lead generation is coming from. The same way Dave Ramsey or any of these investment guys tell you to diversify your portfolio with investments, you want to also diversify where your traffic is coming from. Say you have 10 different stocks. If 3 of them go to shit, guess what? You have 7 that are still going to perform well. Your portfolio is going to be healthy. The same thing applies here. If all of your marketing is coming from just one channel, if it starts to have a bad day, there's a rainy day with that particular channel, you're not going to get any customers anymore. So we want to make sure that we're diversified and fortified there. That's why our on-site marketing team takes care of all of it. That way you as the detailer don't have to worry about that thing. And you can just focus on growing. Now we're at level 2 right now. So Rob already has 3 employees in place, and I'm trying to build out a system to where he doesn't have to handle any of those sales calls anymore, so he can focus more on the back end. Because ultimately, the first thing to delegate is getting rid of being hands-on with the detailing. Then you want to get to a point where you're not taking those sales calls anymore, because the phone, as you start to ramp up with the marketing, is going to be ringing 10, 15, 20 times a day. That's really too much to handle if you're the business owner trying to put out other fires. The other thing we're trying to build is a custom dashboard for a manager. That way he has somebody to take on more of those responsibilities outside of just regular detailing. We want to have somebody that's going to be able to train employees and so forth. So that's Rob's dashboard. And then let's go over to inside of our school community. So we got 164 members here inside the community. Like I said, usually about half of them are showing up on those live calls. So you're about to see that live call here in about 5 minutes as soon as I wrap this up, with about 70 members there. And the context is most of these guys started with me a year ago, 6 months ago. And over the course of that time, they've grown to 20, 30,000 per month is usually our target. And now we're trying to inject some more information and systems into their business to show them how they can cross into $1 million per year business instead of just being a successful like solo entrepreneur. But this is our school community. Funny enough, I actually had one of my guys, Vincent Caruso, who's one of my top students, go and join some of the top communities on the school platform that won the school games that Alex Hormozi hosted. Our community, depending on the week, can be more active than the people that won the school games. And that's because we're doing a lot of giveaways. So we're giving away a MacBook this month, obviously to help with people's business. And obviously it's a fun giveaway that we can do there. Classroom section. We've got a bunch of our playbooks listed here. It's not a bunch of course material. It's usually just formalized systems and SOPs they can steal. Win section. Let's see. Ben started 90 days ago, crossed his first $10,000 month. Nathan, first $10,000 month. 17-year-old detailer in high school did $3,000 this past week. Anthony quit his job, got his van, crossed his first $10,000 month in the period of, I believe, 4 months. Came out to our event in Miami last year. The light stuff, the stuff that you wouldn't see from somebody that doesn't actually care about the results of their students. A dealership contract, Braden Stacy, $25,000 from their dealership since January 22nd. So we're looking at $25,000 collected in 90 days just from one dealership. A $4,500 paid in full maintenance plan that Patrick was able to get done. Lots of stuff going on here. People hiring their new employees and so forth. 17 truck fleet landed by Bruce. All of these various things. So that's what the community looks like. And then, let's see, we have our member map here on the school platform, but most of them are sitting right there as well. Now, the biggest thing that I preach is being a practitioner first. I crossed my first $25,000 month, got 2 detailing vans and hired some employees before I even picked up the camera and started giving advice on how to grow a detailing business, because you shouldn't be taking advice from somebody that's not actively practicing what they preach. But obviously this next threshold, this next goal that I'm trying to cross is getting 1,000 mobile detailers installed around the country in different markets. That way I can continue collecting data on the industry and helping them scale. So I want to go ahead and walk you through some of the results that we're getting through using the systems that we've built over the last year before we get into that final call. I want to make sure that you have a full understanding that you can trust me, you can trust the information you're about to receive before you spend 2 hours of your time diving into this masterclass that we did a couple of weeks ago for free on my social media. That way you know that everything that you're getting from that free masterclass is something that is not going to lead you astray. It's something that you can take notes on and start implementing immediately and start seeing results. Because a lot of times there's a lot of free stuff that goes out there that really has a lot of gatekeeping. It's, hey, here's some free information so you buy my paid shit. And a lot of times that free information alone is going to lead you down the wrong path and force you to have to go and scramble and find some additional information. I want to make sure this is whole and complete for you. So let's go ahead and walk through some of the client wins and the members. These are posted on my story highlights. So let's just go through a couple members. I'm going to show you a few different case studies of people that are in smaller towns, like Bruce, for example, scaling to $15,000 per month. I think he did his first $15,000 month in April. March was just shy of $10,000. But he lives in a small town of Boston, or not Boston. He lives in a small town of Massachusetts. Southeast Massachusetts. His area has about 10,000 people total, and then there's a couple suburbs outside of it that have a couple thousand. So really, he's in a service area of about 20,000 people total, and he's on track to make over $100,000 this year, and I'm going to show you exactly how we did that. So his Google business profile is obviously ranking on the first page of Google. That's step one. Beyond that, we started using a specific flyer campaign sent directly to people's doors in his area because his population, though it might not be large, has a decent amount of older people, and those kinds of demographics do better with print media. Younger demographics, you got to reach them through social media. Older demographics, you can reach them through flyers, promos, and events. So I analyze every single person's business to see what is going to work based on the exact area that they're in at a given time, and that's what we found was going to work best for Bruce. So he's actually doing about $5,000 to $7,000 per month. Half of his monthly revenue is coming just from that campaign. The rest is from Google and a basic ad budget. See.
What's up, everybody? My name is Bruce. and I joined Driven Elite. Hudson helped me. He helped me to implement Google Ads. He helped me with my SEO. He helped me put a CRM in my business and lots of other back-end work. So that way when the springtime rolled around, I could hit the ground running. And I want to say the month right now is March. I took a week off. I'm actually in Puerto Rico right now. And March, this very month, is still going to be my biggest month of my business yet. If you're thinking of joining the Driven Elite, I can tell you it has changed my business, and in the future, it's going to change my life. As a matter of fact, I was able to host my own event and teach everybody within the group a print marketing blueprint that I use myself to get my biggest month back in the fall. Thank you.
Perfect. There's Bruce's story. Obviously doing incredible. This is Jack. He's scaling to $50,000 per month right now. He's just over $30,000 per month. He's got 2 detailing vans. We're primarily working on the same things that we're working on with Rob that you saw earlier, which is building out those systems and standard operating procedures so that he can have people that's out fulfilling. And then we're closing higher ticket deals. So this office park is paying him $2,400 for a month worth of contract work.
I've been in Driven Elite for
There's Jack's stuff.
a month now, and Hudson has been specifically helping me with getting more profitable in my business and helping me create systems that are going to allow me to be more hands-off in the future and in the summer as jobs get more and more busy. I've changed the pay structure of my team to make it more consistent for them, but also more consistent for me. I've also changed some of my packages and some of my pricing to make that more consistent so that I know what I'm going to be making from every single job. The Driven Elite community has been fantastic. People are texting in there all the time. Everyone is super engaged. Hudson's running his own business, so it makes it a lot more applicable for us because we can see what he's going through and also get his advice, but also give him some advice so that he can implement some things and make it easier for all of us. So it's been a great experience.
Yeah, so Jack's situation is fairly unique, right? He joined at the start of the year. He was already doing over $20,000 per month, had 2 vans. They just weren't optimized. Profitability was not as awesome as it should be. And then he kind of reached a breaking point of how do I get past this point of 2 vans, $20,000 per month. We have our sights set on buying that 3rd van for him over the summer because he is increasing his revenue. But our goal for him immediately was not just get his calendar booked out because he was already fairly booked out. It was build systems. This is somebody that was already successful, that came in and needed a better operational flow outside of just, hey, book out my calendar. And this is obviously Rob's story. I already walked you through quite a bit of his. Got him ranking on Google, got his shop. This was for March. He did $23,000 in March. April did $32,000. So already a $9,000 increase in the last 30 days, even though he's been in the program for a couple months.
Guys, my name is Rob, and I own Bob's Auto Green Mobile Car Detailing based out of Santa Monica. I've been working with Hudson in the Driven Elite for about 3.5 months now, and I can confidently say he's helped my business grow from $10,000 in monthly revenue up to the $25,000 a month that we're doing right now. So we've over doubled our revenue. I would say that the systems and processes that he implements into your business specifically are really the key to that success. My favorite part about the program is his individualized approach that he takes with every student. So for example, I work a full-time job in tech, and that's different than most of the other car detailers in the program who focus on their business full-time. So we had to focus primarily on delegating and implementing specific systems around delegation and employees, which has helped me scale to the point where I am today. So don't sleep on it. Join Driven Elite.
Okay, and then Ashton Turin, actually, I want to highlight this out specifically. He's in Albuquerque, New Mexico. He did his first $30,000 a month after 90 days. This kid right here changed his life. Okay. Ashton was making like $2,000 to $3,000 a month on the side, just doing weekends for detailing, and then had a full-time job. He quit his full-time job and crossed a 10x on his detailing business from $3,000 a month to $30K per month in a 90-day time frame. And that was because of just a couple leverage points that we identified right off the rip. And he could have figured these out on his own over time. And you can see it in this picture. It was planes. We found a local airstrip that we were able to get in with, do some contract work for, ceramic coatings on a lot of them, and then maintenance details and washes on all of these aircraft. He could have found that over time, but the kid's 21. How is he supposed to make those connections immediately? It was very important that we found that leverage point immediately. That way we could catapult his business to the absolute moon. And now he's very involved in the community as well. So obviously his social media presence is quite small. He does have some good posts there, but he just started doing that. His average weeks are between $500 and $6,500, and he did just cross his first $30,000 month. His Google profile, I think now actually has closer to 50 reviews. But Google Ads was the first thing, getting him booked out with regular details to cross his first $10,000 month. And then we started working on planes. You can see the ticket price on that plane there is $1,135. The average plane detail clocks in between $1,200 and $1,500 just for a full interior and exterior. And then if you're doing a ceramic coating, it's going to come out to a couple grand. And then obviously you put it on a maintenance retainer, $400, $500, $600 per month. And that gives him over $100,000 a year in guaranteed income just from that airstrip. Obviously you tack that on with regular details from Google Ads. That's how he's printing the amount of money that he's printing right now. And I'll show you this video and then we'll move on swiftly because I do want to make sure we get to this call very soon.
What's up, everybody? My name is Ashton. I'm the owner of Sandia Summit Mobile Detailing. I joined Driven Elite just about 2 months ago. When I joined Driven Elite, I was making $500 to $1,000 a week, a month. I'm sorry, $500 to $1,000 a month. That was non-consistently. Now, today, I'm doing over $6,000 a week. On track to hit a $30,000 a month, and I'm doing it all alone in my Volkswagen Jetta. No employees, no van, just hard work, determination, systems, and that's what you really get with Driven Elite. Not only will Hudson help you build out systems, help you build out the website, connect you with things that you never thought you needed in business, but with that, you also get a connection to over 150 different detailers. The weekly calls are amazing. People are sharing their own business models, helping each other. It's just a community of great people that all just want to grind, all just want to grow. A bunch of young dudes trying to get after it. I'm forever grateful for this position. With Driven Elite and Hudson's help, I've been able to land fleet accounts, RV jobs, aviation jobs, $1,000 details that I can get done in 6 hours, and I'm forever grateful. This is only a start. I'm 2 months in. And I'm in my Volkswagen Jetta, and it's not even summer. So if you're on the fence, take the risk, because in business you got to take risks, and this is a risk that I wish I took earlier, but I'm grateful that I took, because I'm 20 years old and I'm on track to do amazing things, and I'm just forever grateful to have a connection with Hudson, be able to create relations with people.
Okay, so you can decide for yourself whether or not it's easy to fake these results or not, but I'll tell you, just between you and me, this is the most fulfilling thing I have ever done in my life. My detailing business back home, I'm in Miami right now working with my business partner, but my detailing business back home is still exciting. It's still fun for me. We're trying to push it to the next level, but there's absolutely nothing like building this community and hosting the in-person events a couple times throughout the year to meet these people face-to-face that I've been working remotely with for several months. So decide for yourself how easy it is to fake these things. I'm not here to force this down your throat, but I do want to make sure that we get into the absolute sauce that we're about to cook up for you guys from that live class. But let's just go through a couple other things. So I'm obviously a lot of times detailing on the field and watching my guys work and then taking some of my one-on-one client calls. So I'm still on the field actively getting data in real time in the real world, and then I'm also able to get data remotely from all of these different client accounts to see what works, what doesn't work. See, there's Rob, there's Jaden. He's a student from last year, actually doing about $15K per month, and in the winter he's able to do snow removal. So he's got a snow plow on his truck in the winter. That way he's still able to print money even if the weather's not good for detailing. Monty is in San Diego producing over $30K per month. When I started with him, he was doing just shy of 10. Came to our event in Miami. Let's see what else we have here. Jesse Bottomley. This is a great story. I'd love to share this with you guys more. I don't have like a full member highlight of this, but Jesse came to me with $500 in his bank account, sleeping in a motel month to month in September. He did $16,000 in the month of April. He's doing ceramic coatings now. He's in Fort Walton Beach, Florida, so like a mid-sized town. He's the #1 detailer in his area now, 26 years old, never given any opportunities in life, changed his life through mobile detailing. Exceptionally proud of him. I had him speak at the last event, actually. More wins, the basics. Light stuff, boys. There's Jesse.
From Fort Walton Beach, started his mobile detailing business with his last $500 back in September. Jesse, how much have you made in March so far, even with 1 week left to go?
12K.
$12,000 after starting his detailing business. Literally 6 months ago, he came out to our Miami Mastermind event at the end of January, been using the exact systems and blueprints that we've used to scale over 100 detailers now. And he is probably one of our perfect examples of somebody who started from nothing, built it up from the ground up, just because he followed the exact blueprint. Congratulations, brother.
So proud of him. Member map, basic stuff, More planes. There's Ashton. I'm sharing him earlier. Jersey. Donovan. Jacob in Australia, and international members as well. Systems work across the board. There's Ashton's most recent screenshot. Posted that 4 days ago. That's what I was looking for. Almost $33,000 this past month. So still making progress month over month. Anyhow, let's hop into the absolute sauce that you're going to get. Notepad out. Make sure you're ready to take notes, implement this over the next coming weeks, and send me a DM if the stuff starts working for you.
Welcome to our presentation on how you're going to get your detailing business to $100,000 a month. Now, this is going to be for you regardless of what situation you're in. Some of you guys might be in a situation where you're producing $10,000 a month right now. Great. How do we get 10x the results with 3 times as much effort over the course of the next 1 to 2 years? Now, I'm not saying that you're going to get your detailing business to $100,000 a month overnight, but I want to start putting in your mind the idea and the concept that this is the kind of business that you can take to $1 million a year. For a lot of us, it's something that we're struggling to get to the point where we can make a full-time living. Smash that as a baseline goal out of your mind. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to produce $5,000 to $8,000 a month of full-time living from your mobile detailing business. If you're not able to produce that right now, you're doing some very key things wrong, which you're going to get the solution to in this presentation. But if you're a detailer that's doing 10, 15, 20,000 a month, what are those scaling solutions that you need to unlock to crush it this summer? And the biggest thing that I can drill into your head right now is to pay attention, because you cannot afford to miss out on the summer. Summer is when we're going to make 80% of our money with mobile detailing. If you're in a state that's far north, you're getting snow, rain during the winter, you're looking at 90% of your money is going to be made during the winter. I've got guys in my program that are literally ripping all summer long, closing down their business during the winter, and then living off of the fruits of their labor from the summer, going on trips and so forth, because that's where most of your money is going to come from. If you're not able to pay attention to the entirety of this, take notes and start implementing them in the next couple of weeks in your business, I can't help you. This is free. Don't take this value for granted. The way we're going to do this is we're going to start by going through a recap of my story, showing you how I've gotten to where I am right now, a quick timeline so you can understand what you're on pace to hit in accordance with my journey. Then I'm going to give you a full introduction to Brandon, okay? Like I mentioned earlier, Brandon had a mobile detailing business that he got up to $20K per month over the course of 2 years. It failed for reasons that he'll share, and then he was able to start a new one with his newfound knowledge, took a year break, invested in mentorship, bought some programs, got some things situated, met some business people, and then was able to cross $100,000 a month after 12 months. Actually, I think his first one was maybe 10 months, 11 months in. You crossed 100 grand, or like 95,000?
I hit 89,000 90 days in.
89,000 90 days in? Jesus. Okay, so we're going to be getting into that. Then what you're seeing here on screen is all of the pain points that I am facing in my business right now that I feel like are capping me from hitting the next level. Brandon's going to come in and inject his solutions to those things so you can see what a high-level detailing business looks like and how he would solve problems that I'm facing, problems that you're facing, problems that you're facing at $5 grand a month, at $3 grand a month, at just starting, at 15,000 a month, the whole nine. And there's a full list of SOPs at the bottom, which we're going to be getting into, because you don't just need to know some buzz keywords about how to grow your detailing business. You need to also know the exact ways that these systems are implemented as far as automations, marketing, sales, and so forth. So just to kick things off, we're going to go immediately over and do a quick timeline of my story. Some of you guys know my story, some of you don't. If you know my story, stick around. We're going to do this in about 5 minutes, but I want you to be able to track and tell me in the chat, where in my story are you at? Okay? I've got phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. Where along your journey are you in correspondence to mine? Is it phase 1, phase 2, phase 3? You're going to let me know. I started my detailing business in the summer of 2022. I was 16. This is a picture from my first client. This is actually the realtor that is selling my family's house right now. It's on the market, went live last week. So this is Jeff. First detail I ever did, $100, full in and out for this BMW. Took me 4 hours, okay?
and I saved up to pay for a marketing team. My initial thought was, I know that I don't know how to do marketing. I don't know how to do Google ads. I don't know how to do any of this, but if I can find somebody who knows how to do it, pay them to do it, I'll be able to grow quicker and focus on my expertise, which at the time was super basic. My expertise was I can pick up the phone, I can wash a car, I can get a 5-star review. Now, I was unfortunately not able to save up enough money to pay for a marketing team outright. I ended up negotiating a deal with them where I said, look, if I give you 10% of my revenue for the next however long it takes for me to pay you back, can you start for free? So instead of me paying $2,000 up front to start the marketing, I said, I'll pay you $4,000 over the course of however long it takes. I'll pay you 10% of what I made the week every Friday. It took me about 90 days to do that. Ended up paying them $4,000, and then I got on a retainer with them for about $1,000 a month. Things started to pick up around that time, October to December. This is where I was making about $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Go ahead and type a 1 in the chat if you are currently making $2,000 to $3,000 a month. I want to see where you're at in my timeline. Then by January and February, I was making about $5,000 a month consistently. I think January was like $4,900, February was like $5,500. We have a lot that are between the 2 and 3. I got consistent leads from Google, just organic. I was paying for website and organic marketing. That was it, paying up for, or saving up for the van. 2 in chat if you're making $5,000 a month. I want to see where you're at. 2 in chat if you're making $5,000 per month. We're going to be able to screenshot all of these messages in chat so I can see who's at what place, and then I'm going to ask for your Instagram handle at the end so we can come up with a comprehensive solution for each one of you. Next up was March. March of 2023 was my first $10,000 month. I did about 11 grand. Bought my van in cash. Here's my first van, 16-year-old me buying the 2015 Ford Transit Connect, which is now sitting in the shop with a $5,000 repair bill. The thing's a piece of crap. I don't recommend you buy one this old. But this was my first van, $13,500. But I did face my first regression in April of 2023. My first regression was $6,000. So I went from $11K per month down to $6K in April after buying the van, but I was able to wrap it and raise my prices. May was my first $15,000 month. What caused the dip was poor weather, but the van was also in the shop, and I also got too overly excited about the detailing van and thought that customers were just gonna start coming to me, so I stopped doing my marketing around that time. And then I realized, you know what, I need to double down. We're going to go ahead and pay double what I'm paying, double my marketing budget, go ahead and get more SEO pages built out with my team. I hired my first guy in, I think, June of 2023, and then my second in July. So I was doing about 15K per month with two team members by the end of 2023. How many of you are between 10 and 15,000 per month? That's going to be a 3 in chat. I'm going to screenshot your page so I can see. 3 in chat if you're between $10 and $15,000 per month. Okay, perfect. There's quite a few of you there. That's actually really good to see. Not a lot of you guys are beginners. Beautiful. We're going to have a lot of stuff for you as far as scaling is concerned. By August and September, I was doing $25,000 a month. I bought my second detailing van September 18th, which was my 17th birthday, 2 years ago. $25,000 per month. Then another regression. October of 2023, my business almost collapsed. There's going to be a lot of you that have hit those big months, and then you've been in a situation where something big happens, you feel like everything is going to completely shatter. It's not. We were on the dock earlier at his parents' house for his birthday. It's Brandon's birthday. Happy birthday, Brandon. Happy birthday, Brandon, in chat. We got to keep the engagement. Happy birthday to Brandon. He's going to get blushed. Yeah, there you go. Happy birthday. We were on the dock, walking through the dock, and he was quoting to me a quote that I said to him earlier this weekend, which is the story of the bamboo. Bamboo takes 7 years underneath the ground before it sprouts. It's planted 7 years, it grows under the ground, then it sprouts. Within a 2-month period, it becomes a very tall bamboo stalk. And he quoted that back to me. And the point that I was making to him was I was like, dude, you can frickin' blow it for 7 years, grow underneath the ground. By the end of 7 years, if you don't quit for 7 years, you're going to have some level of breakthrough to the point where after 7 years, you're not gonna wanna quit. The average time that it takes for someone to start a new business to become a millionaire is 12 years. You can look that up. It takes 12 years for the average millionaire from starting their business to becoming a millionaire. Some people are going to be exceptions. Brandon, exception. Myself, exception. But if you stick with something for 12 years and don't be a pussy and back out, the chances of you becoming a millionaire are very much so there. And that's why we're opening your mind into what does $1 million a year detailing business look like. I don't have $1 million a year detailing business. I'll get there before 12 years is up, but this dude does. You did just shy of $1 million last year. They're on pace to do probably 1.5 or 2 this year based on the rate that they're growing because they're growing a secondary company. in Myrtle Beach, 2 hours away. So my business almost collapsed, my employees quit, and I almost entered into a really bad partnership. I was like, yo, my employees quit, I'm young, I can't manage a team, let me go ahead and sell half of my business to another company here locally who's overstaffed. Well, being overstaffed, as Brandon's gonna share with you, doesn't mean that you're a profitable business. You can make $20,000 in a month, but if you have 5 employees, you're not profitable. That would have been a very bad partnership for me, because even though this dude's making 20 grand a month, if he's not profitable, that's not somebody I want to learn from. All right, now we're moving into phase 2. This is the rebuilding. This is 2024. I go back to detailing solo, 12 to 15 grand a month solo in November, December of last year, or of 2023 rather. January of 2024, I spent $9,500 on mentorship and started planning my next year. Paid a bunch of mentors, both in the detailing space and out of it, and I started testing new employees in February and March. And then I started Driven Elite. That's my paid community. This is not a sales pitch for my paid community, but I did start that in February to March of last year because I said, you know what? I made a lot of mistakes the year before. I'm ramping up. I'm going to build myself into an even better entrepreneur, and then I'm going to teach other people exactly how to avoid those mistakes that I made. So I started that year. Around about that time, we only had 10 members, super small. And then in April, I went to Miami for the first time. April of last year, a year ago, I had $6,000 in my bank account. I remember we spent $1,000 to rent a Lamborghini STO for the day. That brought me down to $6 grand in my bank. And I did that so I could expose myself to something that was so far beyond reach. So I had some level of motivator to say, you know what, that experience was incredible. How do I make sure that this is not the last time that I experience it? So I'm sitting there, $6 grand in the bank, driving in the passenger seat with my business partner, and he's showing me all of Miami. And I'm like, dude, I'm so far behind. Kept paying for mentorship, kept growing, got back home, started hiring again. In May to June, I got my first full-time quality employee who helped me build the rest of my company up to where you see it today. Opened up my formal Driven Elite coaching program after I had once again gotten into $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a month again last summer with an employee, and I hosted my first mastermind event. Some of the guys from the event are probably also on the Zoom. I think I saw John's name pop up, John Hampton. Ben's probably here. There's Patrick, there's George, and there's Alejandro. We did that in Texas. We had 12 guys that came out, and it was mostly just like a collaborative work session in an Airbnb that we had, private chef, super dope. July, August of last year, got 2 vans active again, had 3 full-time guys, grew Driven Elite to 50 students, okay? That's phase 2. Type of 4 in chat if you're on phase 2. Phase 2 is I have 1 detailing van producing over 20 grand a month, or I have 2 detailing vans producing over 20 grand a month. A 4 in chat if you're over 20,000 a month, or you have 2 detailing vans. Either way, 4. 4 for 20,000 a month beyond. 4. Some of you guys are putting 1s and 2s. 4. 4, 4, 4, 4, 4. Okay, we have a decent amount of those. That's great. I see Max in there. I see Matt in there, both in the program. What's up, y'all? Matt, you need to, I'm actually going to be in Miami very soon. You're in Naples. I'm very close. Maybe we should go out and see you. All right. September of 2024, that was my first $70,000 month between all of my businesses. I make it no secret that I have 3 companies that produce me income: my detailing company, my coaching program, and my marketing agency that's tied to the coaching program. I'm not gonna lie to you and say that I make 70 grand a month from my detailing business. That would be ridiculous. You wouldn't be able to trust me. But that was my first $70,000 a month between all of the business ventures that I had set up. But the premise is all of my companies and income sources today, what do they come from? A $500 side hustle I started in high school. That's my thesis. That's what I preach. We had 100 members at this point. We did our Scottsdale event. This is our second ever event. There's Yusuf, there's Jacob, Moses, that's Kyle, Alejandro, Vincent, Ben. Vincent's in chat as well, actually. Number 4 was the revenue mark of over 20 grand a month. By October, November of last year, I was increasing ad spend on Google, heavy focus on the community, closed Driven Elite to new members in 2024 in December, because my focus was, I've reached a point where I'm able to coach people to success from 0 to 20, even $30,000 months. However, if I'm gonna build something sustainable in this industry, if I'm gonna build a reputation for myself, if we're actually going to make a difference in an industry that's full of people that don't know what they're talking about, I need to take a break from the program, and I need to build an even more reputable detailing business. That's why Brandon's here. I met him in January, flew him out to Miami for our 3rd event. This was our 3rd event that we did. There's Vincent again. There's Anthony, who just crossed his first $10,000 a month. Congratulations, brother. Trey, Jesse, Emmanuel 2. There's Evan, there's Luke, and that's Bert, one of my employees, actually. He came out. I bought my 3rd detailing van around this time, and now we're scoping out a shop location. So the reason why I'm here with Brandon today is because of one simple fact. And that's the fact that I've spent the last year automating my detailing business, building systems that allow me to spend less time on it and have semi-passive income so that I can work on building what I believe is changing this industry, which is the Driven Elite, the community of elite entrepreneurs that is equipping detailers to take over their cities. However, in order for me to continue making an impact, my detailing business is going to have to grow. Because my focus for the last year has been on the community, my detailing business has been like this. It's been successful, it's had marginal improvements, it's gotten more efficient, it's gotten more profitable, but it hasn't had exponential growth. That's why Brandon's here. Now, I'm gonna let Brandon share a little bit of his story with you before we get into some of the main problems that I'm facing right now and his prescription for each of them. So I'm gonna kill my screen share and I'm gonna kill my mic, and then Brandon's gonna go ahead and share.
All right, guys. So essentially, as Hudson said, he's come pro detailing, and we're in Charleston, South Carolina, on the East Coast. The weather year-round is pretty solid, so most of the time we don't really have to deal with snow or anything like that. So 2021, I was working at a body shop, and I decided, enough is enough. I was just kind of washing cars, $15 an hour, where a lot of you guys may be stuck at, right, of trying to transition over to getting a detailing business, or we're in that same position. So 2021, I bought my first trailer cash, focused on just details, and started Coastal Clear Detailing. I've lived here my whole life, so I've had a lot of connections here in the marketplace, and word just kind of really spread by wildfire. I'm really good at talking to people and able to give them a great experience throughout. So that's what I did. I just focused on giving every single client the best experience and then offering incentives for if they were to tell their friends and family. So immediately right off the bat, we started averaging 10K a month, right? I was just knocking doors. I was calling friends, family, posting in Facebook groups, anything that I could to get business. And this was only focused on details. And I hired a friend from high school, right? And we were working one-on-one together. And I was pulling the trailer with my truck. We had water and power inside of it. And it was just like a grinder mindset, right? I can't answer the phone because we're always detailing. It's 98 degrees outside. It's hot as shit. And I'm just like, okay, I'm kind of done doing this, right? So then we started to kind of average in to then start doing ceramic coating, right? I learned how to do ceramic coating and boat detailing as well. Started averaging 15K months. Jobs were a little bit better, right? As you can see here, this is a picture of me in 2022, right around June. And this is myself with my old company here, Coastal Clear Detailing, polishing the back of a 4Runner. And this is my employee right here. And then 2023, we're averaging 20K a month. Hired my second employee, landed first big contract deal, right? This was huge for me, right? We landed this contract deal with a boat manufacturer here in Charleston. And it was $1 million deal, ceramic coating every single boat. And I ended up not having systems, processes, or anything in place. And I ended up blowing the deal, right? Because I did not know how to actually orchestrate that deal. I didn't know how to fundamentally run that deal. So I ended up losing that deal, which was a huge, basically pit in my stomach and kind of punch in the throat, because it's like, wow, I just landed this huge deal, my first one, and I immediately lost it probably 90 days in. I was able to remove myself from the business at this point. I had kind of had enough, right, of the hot summers, working 10-hour days, coming home, smelling like ass, and just really just being absolutely, I was literally burnt physically, right, and then also mentally burnt as well. So February 2023, I got my real estate license, and I hired my first coach, and I started focusing on leverage versus grind. I always knew, like, hey, I'm worth more, right? I know that I'm worth more than just kind of day-to-day of working with my hands, of, really going through the grinder mindset. So I found a group of guys. It was a real estate company that was focused on personal development, right? Which is key for success. And this was huge for me to learn at the age that I was at, right? At this point in time, I was 22 years old. And I had never heard anything about coaching, about mentorship. And this was literally like a light bulb in my brain. I was like, wow, I can pay someone to literally show me the exact blueprint, exact each and every step in order to fast track my success. So that's exactly what I did. I hired my first real estate coach, and I'm making 15K a month in real estate. This is August 2023, making 15K a month consistently in real estate, invested over $40,000 into coaches and mentors, Grant Cardone, Brandon Dawson, Eric Spofford, Jason Wang, a bunch of different guys. And then detailing business failed due to no systems, processes, or marketing. I had, like, my business was running off of Google Calendar, and my business was running off of literally posting in Facebook groups and friends and family, right? And I was taking phone calls on my business cell phone. So I had no business number. I had no scheduling software. I was taking payments through cash, Venmo, checks. It was more of a hobby, right? That's not a business, that's a hobby, right? Whenever you don't have any actual structure within the business, you have a hobby, right? It's not a business. So the detailing business failed. I'm like, wow. I'm like, holy cow. I don't even know really what to do. So then we transitioned over into October. My biggest month in real estate earnings was $60,000. At this point, I'd invested over $100,000 into coaches, mentors, and programs, and I was just kind of depleted, right? I felt failed after the business crashed, right? I started at this point in time, after all this money that I've invested into myself over the course of the timeline, between coaches, between mentors, between programs, I finally felt that I actually had a solid understanding of the backbone of how a business should run. And from there, I'm like, you know what? Like, you know, if anybody can do it, right, I can do it, right? Because anybody really can do this with the proper knowledge and the proper structure. And really, it's just the information that you need and the blueprint in order to get there. It's small, actionable steps over the course of time. So at this point, I'm like, you know what? I love cars. I love boats. Real estate was great, right? You guys might be wondering, well, if you were making $60,000 a month in real estate, well, why would you get out, right? That's what everybody's asking. Dude, it's a grinder mindset in real estate, right? You're constantly banging the phone. If I wasn't cold calling people, I wasn't making money. I was working 12 hours every single day for 365 days, just about every day straight, right? I would work probably half day on Sunday and then go over to my parents' house in the evenings on Sunday afternoon for dinner. But I was working all day, every day. And it was that same thing of that grinder mindset. And I'm like, dude, if I can just build a detailing business that can run while I'm not there, I can basically have passive income and I don't have to be there every second of the day. If I'm not there, the business continues moving forward. And it wasn't like that in real estate, right? I made a lot of money in real estate and it was amazing the group that I was surrounded with and the trajectory of my growth that I was able to achieve. But the biggest problem was it was the same thing 12 hours every day and I was cooked every single day. So I decided, you know what? Enough is enough. I am going to start a new company. So Elite Pro was then created. And I said, you know what? I'm going to start the rebrand of Elite Pro after the growth I gained from my coaches. So January 2024, Elite Pro was born. I bought my first band cash and got it lettered. Website was created. I spent a total of $10K to launch everything and build it out, ready to launch. This is me in January of 2024, right? This is last year, January 2024. This is me standing in front of my brand new van. Or not brand new, but brand new to me, right? It was a 2015 Chevy Express, 150,000 miles. And I got it from an electrical company and I paid like $5,000 for it, right? Just something basic, right? Everybody is focused on having the nicest van, the nicest everything. You guys want to jump in and spend $50,000 on a van versus total all in on this setup. I was in this setup for $8,000 and immediately right off the rip, guys, which we'll get into it, February was soft launch. Right, we had a soft launch of Elite Pro, our training systems and shooting ads. That was the key for February, right? That was what I was working on. I hired the first employee. I'm training him. We just kind of did word of mouth. I texted old clients, hey, I'm back in the game. You know, you guys want your car detailed, X, Y, and Z. We did $7,000 in February 2024. This was the catalyst of me prepping it, right? This last 60 days, this from October to January was more of like creating the logo, creating the LLC, creating, you know, some of those things, creating the website, figuring out what exactly was my mission with this business. And then between January 1 and February 28th was really training systems, shooting ads, really figuring out, okay, we're going to do this, right? March 2024. The hard launch of Elite Pro. We focused solely on ceramic coatings. My first employee was trained. Systems and processes are now in place, right? Booking softwares, payment links, everything, CRM, automations. We did $24,000 in details and ceramic coatings with this $8,000 van and one person.
Van was only $8,000.
The van was $5,000. It was like $1,000 to get it lettered, and then
how many miles were on it?
150,000. No problems.
Bro, my vans are too expensive.
You know? But everybody likes to troll on the van, and it's like, guys, I'm getting the same results, if not better, and my setup is a third of you guys. You guys are more focused on pretty setups versus let's get something that actually generates us cash and we can rip right out the gate.
Cash first. Yeah.
So April 2024, I hired my second employee and got him trained. I started searching for a shop, mainly focused on ceramic coatings this month. We did $54,000 with this fella here, Jacob, and Kyle, which is now my manager. $54,000 this van printed me this month, right? And this is me checking on a job. So to go from January to then April, right? Soft launch in February to now May, we're guys, I am so juiced up on adrenaline at this point. I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're riding this roller coaster, right? I don't know what's coming next, but I'm just continuing riding. And I'm like, we need to get a shop. We need to get a couple more employees. We need to get all this stuff. So I hired 2 more employees. I opened up a shop location. I had the mobile van doing details. The shop's doing ceramic coatings. We did $89,000 in this beautiful shop right here. Nothing special, right? This was my shop that we did $89,000 in. And this was the break point in the business, right? This is whenever systems and processes and trainings and SOPs and KPIs all started to break. It was awful, right? I mean, I was making so much money. Like this month, we actually profited our profit margin was actually really high this month. I think we were right around 30%. So I profited right around $28,000 this month. And I'm like, wow, right? In a service-based business, a healthy business profit-wise should be 20 to 35%. Just for you guys to know. Anybody else that's saying you should be profiting 50%, 80% is bullshit.
Not once you have a crew.
Not once you have a crew, not once you're paying yourself, not once you have a real business. And if you have less than that, then you have an unhealthy business and a problem that we need to then fix. So May 2024, amazing month. Then we go to June 2024. I hired a salesperson. I had 4 employees. The systems broke. We had a $14,000 decrease in revenue of the month of June. And that was because, our quality started to go down. Our marketing wasn't on point, right? We had so many different things that ended up breaking that month. And here I am, right? Imagine it as holes in a bucket. I'm trying to patch all the holes in the bucket, and there's just too many to patch at that time. So I just said, hey, we have to dial back on the marketing. We have to dial back on the people. I ended up firing one of the people. I hired too fast, not having the proper systems and everything to track all of the employees, right? I delegated too fast because I didn't do that initially, right? Which is what we're going to cover as well. As delegation early is crucial, because if you can't trust one person with a few of your simple tasks, how are you going to be able to delegate to that 3 or 4 people? So July 24 to February 2025, I had 3 full-time guys, 1 salesperson, and this was the time where I basically removed myself from the front end in the business, and the only thing that I was focused on was the back end of the business, right? So that was the main thing that I was focused on, was really getting in with building out SOPs, building out KPIs, building out a more solid base structure to figure out, okay, I knew I could get to just shy of 100, but now what is that next step, right? Because what it takes to get to 25,000, what it takes to get to 50,000, 100,000, there's different things that you have to do. And I only prepped for getting to 100. And once I got just shy of that, my systems broke, right? You're back into the business. It dials down to sales, marketing, and operations, right? All of them have to be able to withstand 100,000. Our sales could, our marketing could, but our operations couldn't. And if each sector is not aligned with that, your business can't do that number that you're looking to do. So that's what I focused on for about 8 months, was literally just working on optimizing and streamlining the business. And then I connected with Hudson in January. Of course, like you said, I went out to the event. We spoke with the guys, met a lot of the guys. Amazing group of guys, right? Like, I was actually impressed. I wasn't sure going into it, right? Because, the detailing space isn't really a bright, what they say, right? It's just not an amazing space. So I was just wondering, like a lot of the people that are in the space. So I was just like, okay, wondering what it was going to look like whenever I was going to the event, and connected with a lot of the guys. It was actually amazing. All guys that were motivated, driven, ready to grow, asked tons of questions. So I was really stoked to come out to the event, really connect with Hudson and a lot of the guys, and I've stayed in touch with them. And then so we dial into March, right? 3 full-time detailers, systems and processes are finally fixed. We have a salesperson that's ripping. SOP master file is complete. Our marketing is bulletproof. We've now tested over probably 300 creatives, right? And we found what the exact intro, body, and offer is now at this point to get someone engaged in your ad, to get someone information, right, to learn more about the ad, and then the close on the end of the ad, which is going to be the offer of how to get them actually into your CRM and build that FOMO. Dealership relationships started to build. We started partnering with a lot of the Hendrick dealerships based off of the strategy that we came up with that basically gets you in the door and builds you that relationship. We cracked $103,000 in March, right? And it felt effortless, right? I didn't feel in a grinder mindset. I didn't feel like it was crazy hard to do it. And we profited right around 25% because I'm investing back into the business. So we profited right about 26,000 last month. And then this month opened up the PPF shop and hired a tech, 3 full-time detailers, 1 PPF technician. We have a salesperson. Leverage is in full effect, right? I don't feel like I'm grinding. Like Hudson said the other day, right? I probably, within the first 3 hours between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m., I had more done than what he even thought I would. And the leverage that was there because I met on the sales team meeting, right? I met with the salesperson. We went over to the deals that we have in the pipeline. We went over to the things that are happening. Boom, he's off, right? That's leverage. I met with the operations person. Hey, here's the things we have going on. Here's what needs to be built out. Boom, he's off. That's leverage. We did about 112,000 this month. Like I was talking about earlier, we did probably, 15 grand a week in ceramics. We did about 20 grand a week in ceramics, 5 grand a week in PPF, and then right around 5 grand a week in details. I like my mobile van to print me about 20,000 a month. The ceramic shop to do 80, and then the PPF shop should be doing right around 40.
Perfect. Okay, I'm gonna snag this, switch over, boom. Okay, all right. I'm going to take over here. So the next thing that we're diving into is the exact problems that I have faced in my business where I'm currently at that I find as limiting beliefs for me to get to my first $100,000 month. Because I have had so many limiting beliefs shattered in the last 72 hours alone. The first 3 days I was with you, I saw you do 5 figures in cash collected for a day after a PPF and a couple ceramic coatings were picked up. I saw him close a $10,000 a month ceramic coating deal, dealership deal. And then I saw him manage 5 employees profitably and have a sales team take all of his calls so that he was not working more than 3 or 4 hours of deep work per day. Those are all things that I didn't think were possible in my detailing business. I thought capping out a successful detailing business should be 2-3 vans, each making 12 to 15K per month each with 1 or 2 employees in it. That's what I thought was the cap. Everything was completely shattered over the course of the past few days. So what we're going to be getting into now are the exact prescriptions that Brandon has given me saying, if you do this, you cannot fail. Let's go through my problems. Marketing is my biggest problem right now, and that's because all of my leads are coming from Google. Yeah, we're doing a good amount of money, but 90% of them are going to be regular details because the best way to get regular detailers is from Google. Ceramic coatings usually are not coming from Google. Very rare that a ceramic coating comes from Google. Those coatings that I'm getting are usually from repeat customers saying, hey, I just bought this new car. Can you coat it? Because they're always familiar with me. Another thing that I'm doing right now that I think is wrong is I don't have any way to engage old leads. If somebody doesn't book the first time, I get rid of them. I say, you know what? Not my customer. Brandon's actually teaching me that that's wrong. Sales system is stagnant because I'm stuck answering all my calls myself. I won't be able to handle increased call volume. If I start ramping up my ad spend, getting more leads, I am not going to be able to pick them up. A lot of times right now, I'm still letting calls slip, which means that my staff is not getting as booked out as it should be, and it's capping our growth. My team also feels unorganized in ways. I feel like I'm not strict enough. I feel like I'm not motivating them enough, and I need a way to always have new hires in the pipeline. Brandon also has somebody, Kyle, his manager, that he pays almost $30 an hour, who takes care of almost all of his random things that pop up throughout the day. Things that you think are 10-minute problems, but actually take you 30 to 45 minutes each because it distracts you from the high leverage things that you could be doing throughout the day. Brandon has systems in place for that I've seen. 90% of my jobs, once again, they're mid-ticket, $500 or less, mostly details, not many leads for coatings. I need to be able to increase my monthly recurring revenue with more maintenance customers and fleet and dealership contracts. And I also know that I need to increase my LTV or long-term value. I need better upsells, and I need a way to get customers in the pipeline for ceramic coatings down the line after they've received a regular detail through marketing automations. Those are my biggest problems right now. Brandon, what do you think I need to do for those problems?
Yeah, so essentially, the problems that I have on this one, of course, the issue is all leads are coming from Google, right? So then from there, we want to diversify to become omnipresent by running effective meta ads. The way that I like to describe Google versus Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok is Google is defense, right? Google is where somebody's actively searching you and they're coming at you, right? And now you are playing defense and they're coming at you. You basically take them there at the touch point, and then the cost of acquiring the customer is going to be much less, and your close ratio is going to be much higher. Versus Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok are going to be offense, where you're actually throwing ads out there and seeing what sticks. Your close ratio is going to be lower, but depending on what you're running the ads for, your ROI is actually going to be much higher, which dives right into 90% of businesses from regular detailing. All of my meta ads are ceramic coating, right? I have the intro, the body, and the offer. So prioritize and push high value ceramic coating through targeted meta ads to where now, instead of your average detail being, maybe $250 to $500, now your average detail is now going to be anywhere from $800 all the way up to $3,000, right? Depending on how you structure your ceramic coatings. And then no drip campaign or lead engagement system. Implement a robust CRM and build comprehensive automations to re-engage inactive leads. Because once a lead comes in, yeah, of course you're going to call them right off the rip and you talk to them, yeah, not right now, you guys think the lead's trash, right? But we've already paid for that lead. So how do we maximize our ROI on the investment that we're spending in marketing? We keep that lead in our CRM and we re-engage them with text, emails, automations, and things like that to where we can still close them on the back end 30, 60, 90 days later.
Real quick, Brandon, I'm going to take over. You guys are not being active enough in the chat. If this is not valuable, we'll go make some steaks. We'll go have a $300-$400 dinner tonight. We'll leave you be. I need a 1 in chat if this is valuable, because right now it seems like you're not taking this information seriously. Do you want us to stop? Because I'll stop. This is free. I'm not getting paid for this. I could charge $5,000 for this meeting. I could have closed people in the DMs prior, said, yo, we're doing this meeting. It's going to be stupid valuable. $5,000 Stripe link, pay it, and then I'll send you the Zoom link. That's what we could have done. Okay, that's what I thought. And really, by me saying 1 in chat, I'm kind of joking with you guys. The main premise is I'm trying to make sure that you're actually following along. I'm not actually going to stop this. That's just some bullshit like sales thing that you can say. But I want to make sure that you're engaged with everything that we're presenting here before Brandon continues. I'm going to need a couple more 1s in chat before we can continue, though. Just straight up, because this is kind of fun seeing the chat like pop up like this. It looks like we're doing pretty good. I got him here, bro. Got 143 people, actually. We capped out at like 148, and we're hardly dropping at all, so everybody's pretty much staying. Okay, now type a 2 in chat if you're detailing right now while you're watching. If you're detailing right now while you're watching, then type a 2. I'm actually curious who's out here hustling.
I can share now.
You can share now?
Yeah.
Oh, fire. Here, just keep with my computer. That's good. You're writing stuff down. Good job, boys. All right, keep going. They like it.
Sweet. Are you going to dive into number 2 now?
No, that's all on you, bro. This is your part.
Did you go over all of them?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah,
cool,
go.
cool. Sorry about that. All right, cool. So number 2, right? The issue is owner currently handling all sales calls. Well, we have to develop structured scripts, KPIs, and SOPs, and hire a dedicated salesperson. Number 1, we have to identify what we're looking for in a salesperson, right? Which is driven, which is, great at talking to people, communication, and then also at least has some diverse education on sales. So from there, then we have our structured scripts, which is exactly what we want them to say on an outbound sales call to a lead that comes in, and then an inbound sales call to a lead that comes into us, and then also have KPIs for them, call metrics, sales metrics, things like that, and then SOPs in order to basically how are we going to track these people and how are we going to make sure and hold them accountable throughout. Difficulty managing increased lead volume. As we scale, right, we're going to go from getting 50 leads a month or even 20 leads a month, 50 leads a month, 100 leads a month, and then continue moving up from there, right? Like right now, my business, on average, we get about 550 leads a month. How on earth are we going to be able to manage 550 leads a month with one salesperson? Because let's say our average close ratio is about 20%. 20% of 550 is right around, let's say on average, right, 125. We're closing 125 to 145 jobs a month. From that, what do we do with the rest of the pipeline? Well, 30% of them are probably going to be trash leads. And then now we have the other 55% of the leads that are now going to go into an automated system. So we have about 250 leads per month that then go into our nurture system, and we're focusing on closing them 30 days, 90 days, 120 days out to make sure they're engaged and they're kept up to date with us, right? We send them automated text messages. Hey, here's the project that we have going on right now, and we send them a project that we have going on. Difficulty managing, so utilize automations alongside a dedicated salesperson to manage and capitalize on every opportunity effectively. Calls occasionally missed. It's going to happen, right? It happens with us sometimes as well. We got to have automations in place that instantly message missed call leads to maintain engagement. Team organization and development. Current organizational structure feels disorganized. Clearly defined roles and responsibilities. Every person inside the business should have clear roles and responsibilities, right? We even have one over here, roles and responsibilities contract, right? We have one for a mobile technician, right? We have one for these are 10-page SOPs inside of the business that we have that then defines, hey, here's your roles and responsibilities. Here's what you do on a day-to-day basis. Here's what you're responsible for. Here's what you do on a day-to-day basis. And that makes sure that there's structure inside of it. And every contract, this is a contract that you sign with your employees, so that way there's no surprise of what they're supposed to be doing on a day-to-day basis, right? This keeps everything transparent. This keeps everything simple. And then you just hold them accountable to that contract, right? All right, cool. So roles and responsibilities, implement proper employee training to support future growth. You want to have a growth trajectory for your employees. If you want to keep growing the business, everyone always wants somewhere where they can grow. Lacking strict accountability, establish clear KPIs and SOPs, fostering a culture of accountability. And that's within the culture as well, right? Like we have a culture SOP, company culture overview, which is everyone holds each other accountable. Everyone knows whose roles and responsibilities and what they're responsible for, and everyone can hold everyone accountable for it. Insufficient incentive structures. Implement measurable KPI-based incentive structures for all team members, right? So a mobile technician, you could have a KPI for, quality control. You could have a KPI for getting reviews. You could have quality control or a KPI for being on time, right? There's so many different KPIs that you can have for someone, a salesperson, right? The amount of calls that they make, the amount of deals that they close, right? Those are just a couple examples that you guys can utilize in your business once you get to that point of being able to get a salesperson. Or like I said, if you guys have your first employee right now, start out small, right? Start out $50 a week for making sure all jobs are completed correctly. No steady pipeline of new hires. Always, 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 ABR is the key to every business, right? Always be recruiting. I always have a job running. I always have a job ad running. Always. There's never a time I can have an influx of people in my pipeline for job hires, and I continue to post job ads. Also from there, right? How do we streamline that? Because you want to streamline applicant pre-qualification processes, so that way you're not dealing with 500 qualifications a week. Now you're maybe dealing with maybe 50. Right? And that's just big scale, right? On average, probably we get maybe 20 applications a week, and then we might have 3 of them out of that, because you have to look at it at scale, right? What are your chances that you're going to get a good person out of 15 people? Maybe mid to slim. What are your chances that you get a great person out of 100 people, right? And you have to always, always, always be running job ads. Awesome. So no managerial role for delegation. Identify or cultivate internal candidates with potential, or actively recruit externally to fulfill managerial responsibilities. And this person could even be in front of you, right? That's something that we have to identify and then cultivate that person. Increasing high ticket sales. Majority of jobs are mid ticket, like we discussed above, right? Focus on marketing on high ticket services. Our average for high ticket services is right around 1,200, with strategic upsells clearly communicated to customers. Low lead volume for ceramic coatings. Develop engaging and education meta ads, creatives highlighting urgency and benefits. Like I said, intro, body, and then the offer. Boosting recurring revenue. Desire for more maintenance customers. Simplify maintenance program pitch, emphasizing customer convenience and savings, right? Whenever we do somebody's car, we say, hey, you spent $350 here. You could pay $150 on the back end and have your car cleaned every month, and you'd spend the same amount because you come to us every quarter. If you want fleet and dealership contracts, build genuine marketplace relationships that offer tangible value, right? We've created the exact system of how to provide tangible value to these dealerships and not relying on superficial gestures or giveaways, right? Going into a dealership providing donuts, guys, that's 1995. That doesn't work anymore, right? Build real value to where people actually want to work with you and not just to bring them donuts. Because then, honestly, bro, they just laugh at you. Improving lifetime value for customers. Customers should return more frequently. Elevate customer experience and implement a referral program incentivizing repeat visits and referrals. It's super easy, guys. Super easy to tell someone, hey, you get XYZ off your next detail if you refer X amount of friends and family. Upsell funnel and re-engagement process is lacking. Refine upsell strategy by identifying and offering only the most effective upsells. You guys go to a job and you guys want to sell them 15 different things and you guys don't know how to pitch them 15 different things. Figure out what your key 3 to 5 top upsells are and then offer those every time, because the chances of people actually buying those 3 to 5 upsells are so high. And then yeah, you have your 12 on the back end, right? Your undercarriage cleaning, your, things like that. But what are the probably top 3, right? I'm gonna give you guys a free one, right? Engine bay detail, headlight restoration, and then wheel ceramic coating. Done. Integrate powerful CRM automations with engaging creatives to continually re-engage customers and prospects.
Okay, fire. Switching over. All right. 2 this time. 2 in chat if that was exceptionally valuable. We're going to move into the next part of this presentation momentarily. Just want to get a real quick check. Let me take a swig of water. Need some water, bro. That was very, very fast paced. I got some here. Appreciate you. All right, I'm going to stop sharing and talk directly to you real quick, and we're going to go through some action steps that you guys need to be taking right now. I very much so hope that you guys got a lot of notes out of that, because now we're going to talk about how you're going to put those plays to action. So 2 in chat if that was exceptionally valuable for you. We still have just shy of 150 people here, so I'm very, very happy about that.
The SOP master file.
Okay.
You want to show that?
In a second.
Okay.
So, all right, 2 if that was valuable. Good. All right, here's how we're going to strategize and make sure that these things are implemented appropriately inside of your detailing business, all right? You guys got to be ready for this. So, summer's coming, right? We are less than 60 days away from official summer. It's already spring. So a lot of you guys have some level of decent weather right now, so you should be making a decent amount of money. If you're not making $10,000 per month right now, you're behind. If you're not able to cross $25,000 per month by September, you're behind. If you're already at $25,000 a month, you should be shooting for 30, 40, 50 a month by the end of the summer. If you're not crossing those thresholds and thinking that big, you are behind. So the play is going to be, do you know whether or not you know how to implement all of those things effectively? Because we just spent the last hour rapid fire giving you a lot of things like you're drinking out of a fire hose. This call's not recorded, so you guys hopefully either recorded it yourself or you took notes, because there was a lot of information given there. It is now up to you to figure out how to implement those things. The next thing that we're going to be doing with you is, those of you that are inside Driven Elite, we're going to go a full second hour breaking down the specifics on how we are implementing each of those systems in my business. The step-by-step A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3 steps on how a CRM gets implemented, on how hiring a salesperson gets implemented, on how finding a VA to build all of your SOPs for you so you don't necessarily have to go and build them yourselves. That's what we're moving into now. What I did for you was give you a lot of sauce back to back to back for free in a fast-paced, well-presented manner, because I know a lot of you guys have low attention spans. Hopefully a lot of you guys were detailing, so you had something going on in the background, but a lot of you have low attention spans, so I had to give it to you rapid fire. The exact implementation is going to be going on in the next hour for Driven Elite members only. I'd say there's about 50 of them inside this, so that's great. So we're going to be migrating over. However, if you're not inside Driven Elite, okay, this is not a sales pitch, this is a strategy pitch. If you're making between $3,000 and $5,000 a month and you need a strategy on how to get to $10,000 a month, if you're making $10 to $15K per month, you need a strategy on how to replicate your business to cross $20,000 a month. If you're making $25,000 a month and you need a strategy on how to cross into $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 per month, what I'm going to do for you is I am going to put in chat here, and I'm going to pin this, a link to book a call with me over the next 72 hours. There's 3 days worth of call availability in there. There's 147 of you. Those calls are 30 minutes long each. That's going to be what? 16 calls a day? There's only going to be probably 45 of you that are able to get that call. That's less than a third of you that are on this meeting here. I only have one set of availability. Go ahead and click that link right now. Fill your information in and schedule a strategy call. What we're going to do on that call is find out whether or not you're qualified in your business to work inside of our program with us to grow your business over the summer. It is a strategy call. It is a call to figure out what your pain points are, and it's a call to figure out whether or not this is a good fit for you with zero pressure. This is not a sales pitch. This is a strategy pitch. I'm going to go ahead and take questions on the Instagram. So you guys stay on this one here, but type your questions on the Instagram live. That way we can answer those questions. So we got 26 people on the Instagram live. We'll put some people back in the Instagram live, and then we'll go straight to that. Perfect. All right, let's see here. So I'm just going to keep typing in that chat link there. All right, questions here. How do you join the Driven Elite? Well, that's a great question. The link is right in the Zoom link here for you to fill out that form and book that call. We'll figure out whether or not you're a good fit. What CRM do we use? Yourable. Yourable's a great CRM. Yelp ads are not great. They're not great because a lot of times you're going to be getting, basically the way Yelp is working is somebody puts in a request form on your Yelp, and then it gets sent to your Yelp. It also gets sent over to other Yelp businesses as well. So it really breeds an environment where people are just shopping for the best possible price. Okay. All right. How much are you making per month? And then what is your Instagram handle? That's what we're typing in here. And then book that call as well to figure out whether or not we can run you up. All right. SOPs and then delegate or hire employees. Both. Why should there be one or the other? If it's one or the other, it means you're not effectively managing your time. The biggest thing that I actually learned from Brandon over the course of the last few days was how to manage my time better. I saw this dude rip a 15-minute meeting with his sales team, a 30-minute meeting with his VA, and then for the rest of the day, he was sorted on all the work that I usually have to do for like 8 hours every single day. LSA ads versus Google ads. I don't know what LSA ads are. What's that? Do you know what LSA ads are? This dude's saying LSA ads versus Google ads. Do you know LSA ads? No. What do you use for Google lead capture? Just the website form on WordPress. Okay. Is a van necessary? If you're able to make good money out of your personal vehicle, that's fine. Because ultimately your first impression with your client is not when you pull up in the van, it's over the phone, it's your website. If your digital presence is good, if your skills over the phone are good, your first impression is good. As long as you're not showing up in something that's completely terrible and then you're presenting yourself terribly, then there you go. How can I join Driven Elite even if I don't break $1,000 per month? Oh, local service ads. Local service ads are great. If you're not making $1,000 per month already, Driven Elite is not for you. It's not for you. You need to have some level of established business, minimum making $2-3 grand a month. What do you recommend prices for a beginner? Very basic question. Let's see. Went balls deep in detailing stuff to try to start up. Got a generator, spent around $3 grand. Did you spend too much to start out? The question is, are you able to make that back? How quickly are you able to make that back? That's going to be the most important thing here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and pop this in as well. Those of you in the Zoom, type a 3 in chat if you've booked a call. Who's booked a call? 3 in chat if you've booked a call. Okay, we got a few here. How many people have booked a call? Well, that's a lot of people. That means there's not going to be that many slots left to book a call. Who else has booked a call? None of your guys show up. How do you do the hiring process? The best way to hire from day one is to find some level of reference for that person. You don't just take somebody random in, find out who their friends are, who their family are, speak to a reference. That way you have some level of accountability of somebody that you trust that says, hey, I trust this person, they're going to do good work. Also, properly incentivizing your people so that they want to show up day in and day out and perform exceptionally well is very important as well. We're in the sales and marketing business. You should always be marketing. That is absolutely true. The funniest thing I've ever heard, and I'm sure you've heard this, Brandon, before, is, I quit part of my marketing budget to save money. What do you think about that? You're saving money on marketing.
No. Every month I've increased my marketing. Didn't matter how much money we had in the account, which we were always growing, because I was always investing in money. Stop investing in equipment. Stop investing in anything else. The only thing that matters in your business is marketing. If people don't know about you, bro, they cannot buy from you.
Absolutely true. You need to be omnipresent. You need to be present on all platforms. Every single time somebody opens their phone, whether they're on Google, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, they need to see your company image. That's very, very important. Type a 3 in chat if you've booked that call. I'm going to put the link in one more time. This is going to be your last chance to book a free strategy call with us to see whether or not you're a good fit to scale your business with us over this summer. Okay? 3 in chat if you've booked a strategy call. Ask ChatGPT how much you should pay your employee. No joke. Absolutely true. If you're not using GPT and getting the paid version, then you need the paid version. You need the paid version. $20 a month, bro. It's the best investment ever. $20 a month, ChatGPT. All right. I'm not kidding when I say this is the last chance to book that call, because we're going to be going over and doing the implementation process of all of these systems with our Driven Elite members here in the next couple of minutes. Okay? Can you get a free John Mark aggression talk in here? No, you have to buy 100x mindset. I love John. I'll be seeing him tomorrow, actually. He just bought that Ferrari. They did $300K this month, actually, Ben.
Do we peep the master file?
It's really good. Yeah, let's peep the master file. All right, y'all, here's what I'm going to show you. If you take a screenshot of this, then you're cheating. But we weren't going to go over this until the next call. But these are all of Brandon's SOPs and systems, all logged in here on his SOP. So his whole SOP database is here. This is the implementation that we're about to go give to all of our members inside Driven Elite here on this next session. They're all going to have access to all of these things, right? So the non-compete agreement, this is the cover page. It's a 6-page agreement that he's got. Standard operating procedure with company branding, all of these things. And recruitment process, new hire, 90-day probation period, mobile tech roles and responsibilities. These are the cover pages. The full SOP is going to be available inside. That's what we're doing. This is a full database. If you take screenshots on this, you're cheating. But we're going to be going into all of this here very, very soon. So this is your absolute last chance to book that call if you're not in Driven Elite to get a strategy session with us so that you can figure out what your next best moves are, because summer is here. Imagine another detailer puts you out of business this summer because you're not prepared. Last summer, I put 2 detailers out of business in my area. They were established, over 100 reviews. My marketing team keeps a very precise eye on how much traffic is going to my page versus my competition page, and we slowly saw that dwindle over 2 pages that were my competition. By the end of last summer, they were nowhere to be found. They shut down. Imagine somebody in your city who is working with me, has my systems, chases you out of business, and takes your clients. Book a call. You don't want that to happen, do you? Okay, this was a great session. Super glad that you guys pulled up. We had 150 people at the top. Absolutely grateful and thankful for each of you. Good freaking luck this summer. The race has just begun. 60 days left till summer. Let's change lives. Absolutely crush it. Peace, y'all. Okay, what you just saw was the free live masterclass that Brandon and I hosted, but all of those systems that we were sharing are documented fully, not just verbally said, documented fully in standard operating procedures so that you can implement them inside of your business. That's inside Driven Elite, and I'm going to be showing you that full call recording that we did on the paid side inside Driven Elite, the exclusive side, that goes 10 times more in depth to all of those systems than what you just saw that was the free masterclass we hosted on Instagram. So make sure you're taking notes on this, because I don't know if I'm going to end up deleting this. But like I said, all of these systems are documented like playbooks for full implementation for all of our members. Everything from how to build out a 90-day probation plan for your new hires, to make sure that they have a non-compete, non-solicit, a plan to scale your business, recruiting new employees, standard operating procedures for roles and responsibilities for every single new employee, and how to build out those exact systems to make sure that every single job turns out the same, regardless of what car it's on, regardless of what the situation is like with the weather, to make sure that every single detail turns out with the utmost quality, alongside this full documentation database of every single playbook that we're using to scale this summer. All of that, verbally said, is fully documented inside Driven Elite for your implementation. So please enjoy this next section. Hope everybody thought that presentation went well. It was definitely like, this one's going to be a whole lot more in depth, because obviously with people that are free, it's like, dude, you know, there's some level of like, they'll take it for granted. So it's a lot of it has to be entertainment and performance. So I hopped up on caffeine. We had a great day leading up to it. The whole trip's been incredible. But yeah, I had to go through things very, very fast. So I'm very excited for this call here. We got Brandon here. We're going to be going a lot more in depth to some of these step-by-step processes for you guys, because ultimately, and Brandon was super impressed by this. This is why we've chosen to partner up in this way, because, you know, and he can say it from his own mouth, but I'll just recap it for you now. And if you don't believe me, you can ask him. But he was so impressed with what we've built inside Driven Elite over the last year, because I've got a lot of you guys in this program that started making less than $5,000 a month and are now doing $15,000, $20,000, even $30,000 a month, some of you, just from the results of what we've put into this. And not all of that is just through my own doing, right? Obviously, a lot of you guys here can tell how much I care about this community, but there's a lot of you that have really stepped up to the bat. Vincent is one of them. Ben's one of them. Some of these guys that have, Rob has been helping out a lot more recently, that have really helped each other grow. And we've cultivated something absolutely incredible where we're not just in a situation where people are, able to cross their first $10,000 a month, but people are actually crossing into life-changing amounts of money and their businesses are growing. So now I'm in a situation where I need to bring somebody in that is going to take us to the next level, myself included. And that is what this call tonight is all about. So we've been together over the last, I think I got here Wednesday night. We went to sleep at like 3 a.m., picked up from the airport at midnight. But I've been with Brandon from really Thursday, Friday, shadowed him, Saturday, shadowed him some, and then Saturday evening, and then today we've been working on all of this. So we're going to go into a lot of the more in-depth systems here, and then we've prepared something very specific for those of you that are already making over $15,000 a month. So we'll take a show of hands at the end of this, put those of you that are kind of in that more elite section in a group chat, and we've got something special for you guys Wednesday night. So anyhow, I think the best way to do this, Brandon, is just to get you to dive in more in depth into some of those topics. And then we'll take questions and really make this more of a roundtable discussion. But I want to go ahead and let's find 3 key leverage points that you guys are struggling with and get Brandon to go in depth into those 3 things. So I shared, let me go to my screen share real quick. I had 6 different ones that I had on the presentation. What did I have? We have marketing, we have sales, we have teams. Yeah, we have marketing, sales, team, price of jobs, MRR, LTV. Type in chat your top 3 leverage points that you're looking for solutions on right now, and that's what we'll spend the next hour going into, are those 3 particular leverage points that, we have an overall understanding that you guys are struggling with. And then we'll really just make sure we're getting questions answered and really giving you guys the value that you need to cross into those higher months. Because some of you guys maybe are still below $10,000 a month, below $15,000 a month, but we need you to be thinking big about what this business looks like long-term. Start planning for the future, building your systems as you make them, okay? So if you're waiting until you're at 15, 20K a month to build SOPs, you're gonna end up having to take time off from revenue-producing days to build SOPs. It's gonna be much better if you're at the lower revenue numbers to be building those right now while you have more time on your hands because you're not booked out all the time. So don't think that you're left behind in what we're going to share today. Those of you that are over those thresholds, this is definitely for you. It's for both categories of people here today. So let's check the chat and see what folks are saying.
1, 2, and 4.
2, 3, 4, 1, and 4. Okay, 4 is definitely there. Well, I think 1, 2, 4, 1, 2, 6, team, sales systems. I'm seeing a lot of definitely marketing and team. Those are locked in for sure. Marketing, team, and then I do see a decent amount of 6s. Some 6s. Okay, let's go 1, 2, and 6, Brandon. I'm going to have him share his screen. I'm going to mute myself. You unmute yourself and you present.
What's up, guys? Let's go. All right, cool. So I want to definitely dive deeper into everything we just covered. So let me see here. Where's my screen? All right, so we'll dive deep into one to start. So essentially, we'll go into marketing, right? So marketing is extremely key. Of course, I know most of you guys are optimized on Google, but we want to go ahead and start becoming omnipresent, right? Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, because as I said, Google is defense, right? Everybody's actively searching you, and they're coming in hot, which is great, right? Because those are the leads where we're going to be able to get 50, 60, 70% close rate on, because those are the people that are like, hey, I need a detail today. I need car detailing near me, right? That's somebody who's actively searching for you. So that's defense, right? Because they're throwing the ball to you. We're going to start playing offense with our ads, which is Facebook, Instagram, Google, or Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, which is we're actually throwing the ball to them, right? We're throwing out creatives that are then going to stick for them and that are basically going to go ahead and educate them on the product that we're offering, right? That's going to go ahead and give them an offer to get them into the system. And then of course we need our hook that's going to grab them into the system. So I'm going to show you guys one of my top performing creatives that absolutely crushed it. With this ad here, right? I think we spent probably probably 25,000 behind this ad. And this ad alone generated me about 250,000 in revenue. Of course, we have probably about 15 ad sets running at one certain point of time. But now we're at the point where we're at, we kind of have them narrowed down. We have our different ad sectors. We have an A list, B list, and C list, right? Our C list is our new creatives that we just created that we're going to test all together. Our B list is going to be the creatives that we've tested in the C category and maybe the top 3 that are winning. So we put maybe 5 to 10 in the C list. Our top 3 go into the B list, and then now the top 2 that win in the B list are now going to go into our A list, right? Our A list is where most of our budget is going to go, right? Let's say we're spending $100 a day. $50 a day is going to go into our A list, $25 a day is going to go into B list, and then $25 a day is going to go into C list. And here's an ad that made it through the C list, up to the B, and then up to the A. And this is the one that's absolutely ripped. So I'm going to break it down for you guys, right? So let's get this full screen.
Oh, hey, what's up, Charleston? Keeping your car's paint protected for years to come is easier now than ever.
Right? So there's our hook, right? That gets somebody engaged. Somebody's like, oh yeah, that's me, right? I'm in Charleston, I want to keep my car looking clean, and it's easy, right? That's my hook, and now people are engaged.
And that's the power of ceramic coating.
I'm introducing the product.
Enhanced gloss and durability, UV protection, and a non-stick surface, so it's going to be super easy to clean and maintain.
There's my body. There's my benefits, right? What are they getting from ceramic coating? They don't care that you're polishing the car. They don't care X, Y, and Z. They care what they get with the product. So I've got them engaged. Now I'm keeping them engaged. I'm changing the scene, right? So that way they stay engaged. And now I'm giving the benefits that they're going to get. Enhanced gloss and durability, UV protection, a non-stick surface so it's super easy to clean and maintain, and then hydrophobic properties.
Okay. We apply the ceramic coating on jets like this, yachts like this, and classic cars like this.
I threw that in to build some trust. Here's some things that we've done and applied ceramic coating on.
Before we apply the ceramic coating, we're going to polish the paint to ensure all scratches, floor marks, and paint imperfections are removed. And that's the true magic behind a ceramic coating.
And I threw in another piece, a little bit more information.
And this week, we have a couple spots left that we're looking to fill. We're throwing 50% off all ceramic coatings. If you guys are serious about keeping your vehicle looking flawless, get in contact with my team today.
Boom. And that's it, right? There's our hook, or there's our close, right? That's our offer. That gets people like, oh wow, I can save money, right? There's something that's gonna keep my car looking clean for years to come, and it's easy, and these are the benefits that I get. Here's a little bit of trust and credibility that I built off of showing them some jobs that we've done, and then transitioning over a little bit more information, and then now the offer, right? And that got us so many leads, and our offer, right, says 50% off. It's still $1,200, right? $2,500, $3,000. But the fact that they think they're getting a deal, I don't know, most of you guys probably follow Grant Cardone, but a lot of his stuff says 50% off, and this is the method where I kind of learned that from, was just saying that somebody's gonna get a deal, and they immediately are like, oh, I want this, right? I want this, I definitely want this. So this was one of our really, really high performing creatives. And I mean, we have, tons and tons of creatives in here that we put inside of here. I mean, we have different creatives here, right? Some of this stuff, marine ceramic ads, stuff like this. You guys should always be filming ads because you don't know what's gonna work. Some stuff that you think that might not work will work. So it's always about testing new creatives and seeing what's gonna take off. And that was the one that really, really took off for us. And after about 4 months, we started getting ad fatigue. And why did we not see a recession in revenue? Well, because we already were testing the whole time. The mistakes that so many business owners make is they find their winning creative and they're like, oh, this is it, right? They kick back and now they're like, okay, we're good to go, right? We have the winning creative. Whereas I've focused on continuously testing ads to make sure there's never a lull in lead flow, right? You have your anchor ad, but then you're always testing ads against your anchor ad to see which one wins. And if your anchor ad fails, right, at a certain point in time where you get ad fatigue because everybody's seen it so many times, you already have ads in your B list, you move it up to your A list, and then you're good to go, and then you have continuous lead flow. So that's how you guys create the creative. That's how you guys make sure that you never run low on lead flow, and that's how you guys can consistently make sure that you're maintaining the same amount of revenue and continuously scaling. And if something's really working, start putting more into it, right? Start putting more into it. Instead of $50 a day, put $100 a day. $150 a day, and just keep scaling that ad. Does anybody have questions on the creative, on, you know, what goes into the creative? Does anybody have any questions on that?
Yeah, so you can
go ahead.
You can go, boss.
All right. So when you're creating the ceramic coating ad, is one of the plays just changing the actual videos in the background and then pushing that ad? So what I'm saying is, if you know the copy is good, couldn't you just change what the person is seeing in the video?
Can you say that one more time? Sorry.
He's pretty much saying, like, can you like keep the same like the script, like keep the same script but change up the video? Like he's saying, would that fix the ad fatigue, or do you gotta change up the script every time?
I can answer that question, okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me show you right here, right? So we have, let me see. I'll find another one, right? I keep everything. I have my baseline script of what I run through. And then I have my baseline script, but I just switch up the hooks, right? But every one of them, I have the same body because we're still running the same offer. So I don't really necessarily change up too much on the body, because the body's gonna be the same, right? We're still selling the same product. We're still selling the same benefits. I usually keep the same offer as well. I always run the 50% off, but it's mostly the hook in the actual scene that I'm shooting, right? So like that one, I was shooting a different scene, different cars. We also do voiceover videos, but most of the time, like a lot of the times, the script, most of the time, yes, it is the same.
Yeah, and the whole point is like to change up, like, because like if people are scrolling that hear the same thing every time, you want to change up not only what they're seeing, but what they're hearing too, so then, you know, you spark new interest. But Brandon, quick question I had, so that a lot of people are probably the same thing. We're mainly mobile guys. I see, you know, you record most of your stuff in your shop. You know, I would assume I have a van, you know, that I could record in front of. You know, what would you say to do to record a proper reel? You know, maybe if you don't have a nice setup, you know, like how do you still get your company like visuals inside of it if you don't have a shop or a nice van?
Absolutely. You know what? I'm gonna pull real life time from February of last year, right? Here I am in front of my van,
Charleston area, and have a car that's 2020 or newer. Listen up, because I'm about to show you one of the best ways
right
to
there
protect your investment.
in front of the front
it's
of the
called
van.
ceramic coating, which is a 10-year paint protection. Here's what you're gonna get: a deeper, more enhanced gloss.
And this ad is cooked, right? But that ad still
Rob
made
says
me...
it was the one from Detail Cartel, was it?
Yeah. Same intro from Greek Detail Cartel, and it worked for a couple of weeks, right? But then it immediately caught ad fatigue, right? And it was just like, it's very cliche. It doesn't really bring you stuff. So what I would say is, like I said, you know, be in your shirt, be in your uniform, stick in front of the van while you guys are detailing a car or while you guys are ceramic coating a car, and then you do that. And then, you know, a lot of times I like to put B-roll on it. So we'll do ads with B-roll and things like that. Like for this one here, this one was an interior ceramic coating ad. Yes, of course, it's great to have whenever you have a shop. But even if you don't, right, you can still shoot it in front of a nice car that you did, right? If you guys are at a mobile spot and the car is in a good scenery, right, shoot in front of the car, right? If it's a nicer car, whatever you guys are detailing, shoot in front of that car, come at it, walking down the driver's side, right, at an angle, and then cut, say your hook, then shoot it coming from the left side. Say your body, and then shoot it heading straight on from the vehicle. And then also too, there's a good one adding B-roll.
You just can't get out of your vehicle. Well, now thanks to interior ceramic coating, you get UV protection.
See the B-roll?
A non-stick surface, so dirt and grime are just gonna wipe right off. And hydrophobic properties, you don't have to worry about spills and things like that on the interior of your vehicle. So if you're looking to elevate the interior of your vehicle.
So you can utilize a few different tools, right? You can shoot your ad, stand still, just like I'm doing right here, and add B-roll. You can shoot different clips coming from different angles, different vehicles. You can shoot selfie style, which selfie style is good because it builds a lot of credibility. Every once in a while, I'll shoot a selfie style ad because I'm always testing to see what works. What worked last month may not work this month. And what works this month may not work next month. That's why I shoot content 2 days before you came. I shot content the day you came. We shot more content.
Yeah,
2
you
days
shoot
later.
ads 3 days a week.
I shoot ads 3 days a week.
Yeah.
Like, that's my job.
I've never seen that before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was eye-opening.
And we're always launching creatives. And I can show you guys, like in the Facebook Ads Manager, like we have literally 15 to 45 ad sets inside of our ads in Facebook at one certain time. Constantly. Like I'm constantly testing ads, because if I'm gonna spend, like right now I'm spending right around 14,000 a month on ads, and 12,000 of that's on Facebook. If I'm gonna spend that much on ads, I'm gonna make damn sure they're optimized, and whatever's working best is gonna be what I scale and spend the most amount of money on. Because if you don't, you're wasting money, right? If an ad's not hitting, you're just blowing money, because people aren't stopping to watch your ad. They're not engaged in your ad. Your ad doesn't make sense. They don't know what you're talking about or what they're getting. And then they don't have an offer to create that FOMO that's like, I have to get this, right? I have to figure out more information. I have to get a quote on this, right? And then if they don't buy immediately, it's fine, because then we have the CRM on the back end, which a scheduling software and a CRM is two different things, guys. We have Urable, which is our scheduling software, and then we have our CRM, Go High Level, or any other CRM that you guys like to use, which is actually a customer relationship management software, which is where we want all of our leads to funnel into. We have automations built off of that, right, which is gonna keep our leads engaged. And then from there, let's say somebody comes in, right? I'm not focused on, yes, I love a one call close. It's great. We get a ton of those. But a lot of the people that we get in the pipeline are 30, 60, 90 days out, because we're playing offense on Facebook ads, guys. We can't just expect me to throw a ball to, let's say like I put a $2,000 offer in front of Vincent, and he's scrolling on Instagram tonight and he sees my $2,000 offer. He's probably not going to wake up tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. and I call him and be like, yo, dude, it's $2,000. And he's like, cool, let me buy it. Right? Ah, shit. Okay, cool. Sounds good. I appreciate the information. I probably need a little more time to think about it. Awesome. Sounds great. What do you need to think about? I just need to make sure X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z. All right, cool. Sounds good, man. I completely understand. If there's any other information I can get for you, let me know. And then I'm going to put them on the drip, right? A lead comes in. They're a prospect, right? We engage the prospect. And then we close the prospect, right? And then we delight the prospect, and then now the prospect becomes our promoter. And that's the full circle effect of what you have whenever you have a CRM. Because they come into your pipeline, right? Everybody thinks it's a funnel, is straight down and then out of the funnel. No, dude, a funnel is a circle inside of your business.
Are we in sales now?
Yeah.
We're covering
and
sales now?
I recently just did this as well, guys. I recently just got, I had some success with Facebook ads too, but I used to just call and then be done with the lead. I would throw them in the trash. I recently just started doing this, I started using Lead Connector for calls, and then Urable for bookings, and like I booked over $1,000 worth of details on the third time I called someone. So originally I would have never booked them, but like having the two softwares and maintaining is awesome. Another thing too that I know is in probably 80% of your guys' heads right now is that you're nervous to talk in front of the camera. I bet that's in like 80% of your guys' head. You guys need to just jump in front of the camera and get good at speaking on camera. You might not be good at first, but you want to get to the point where you're good at it, because these things rip, guys. Every single detail, like Brandon and all these guys, they rip off these ads, especially Brandon. Obviously, like he's been saying, he rips off these ads. You want to get used to them, and if you're nervous on talking on camera, they're not going to become successful. You just got to jump straight in. 1 year ago today, I was the complete same. I didn't want to hop on the camera, didn't want to talk. Now I hop on, boom, one take every single time. You guys got to jump straight into it. Don't worry about anything like that, because I know you guys are thinking about that.
Absolutely. All right, cool. I'm going to jump into some of these quick questions here. So we got, is Facebook ads the best place to run ads? Bro, like I said, omnipresent. Most of my budget allocation for ads are, yes, in Facebook. I've found a great return on ad spend on Facebook because I'm offering a higher ticket service, right? Like every ceramic coating that I sell, you guys have to sell 3 details for. So let's say your lead close on Google is 50%, right? And you guys have to close 3 leads. You guys have to get 6 leads in order to close 3 details, right? I might have to get 5 leads to close 1 ceramic coating, but the thing is right, I sell 1 ceramic coating and I just made what you guys made off of 3 details. And the crazy part about this is, guys, is the fulfillment. Everybody's like, how the fuck do you make $120,000 a month or $100,000 a month, right? Whenever I did $100,000 just in ceramics with 3 guys. And most people have 3 guys doing $20,000 a month. It's because the fulfillment is still the same, but our average job is 3 times more. You guys see how that works? right? Like for one guy to do a ceramic coating, it might take the same amount of time to do 2 details, but instead of me doing 2 details for say $500 or $600, I just did a ceramic coating and made $1,500. So I needed the same amount of manpower and I made almost 3 times the amount of money. That's how you scale. And we're still doing details on the back end, right? We're still doing details on the back end because everybody still needs details. And that's also a funnel framework that we have to take someone from a detail to then upsell into a ceramic coating, right? That's full circle effect. But getting that high ticket service on Facebook is really, really crucial because we run Google ads for ceramic coatings as well on Google, but a lot of people are not aware of ceramic coating still. A lot of people are not aware of paint protection film still. I just started running paint protection film ads and probably 60% of the leads that come in, they're like, I have no idea what paint protection film is. But after I saw your video, I was extremely intrigued and there was a lot of information. Off of a 60-second video, guys, if you structure it correctly, you guys can tell a whole story of exactly what a product is, the exact benefits, and exactly what a client's gonna get.
And that's the defense versus the offense, because I know a lot of you guys love the warm leads, but you gotta think, how many cars has Brandon ceramic coated where the people had no clue what a ceramic coating was? They would have never searched it up. You gotta be cold, you gotta do the offense and the defense, which I think is huge.
Exactly. What is the funnel lead word software? Is recording entertainment social media content a waste of time? Absolutely not, right? So I kind of differentiate all my content. I need to get better on my Instagram content because I'm more focused really on ads and I don't have a content manager right now for my Instagram. But I think it's great, right? Because then that is also a funnel, like an organic funnel of getting leads into the software as well, right? But a lot of time, like the entertainment stuff, I mean, you can do entertainment stuff, but the big thing about entertainment stuff is you're gonna get shitty leads, just quite frankly, right? Because you're gonna get people that are like, oh man, this looks cool, right? Like I've ran some funny ads before. I've tried literally every single ad set there is out there. Funny, straightforward, ASMR, all the stuff, right? And the ASMR and the funny stuff always brings me poop leads. It's somebody that's scrolling at midnight and they're like, oh man, like this looks cool, dude. And they throw their information and we call them the next morning and they're like, nah, dude, I wasn't interested in a ceramic. I just thought that it was funny. And I'm like, okay, cool. Instead of me getting pissed off at the client for doing that, I look internally and I say, okay, what exactly drove this client into my pipeline, right? It was a funny ad and somebody just thought it was funny. So entertainment stuff is good. It'll get you more followers, but at the end of the day, I don't really care about followers. I care about, like, there's accounts that have 15, 20,000 followers, that post all this entertainment stuff, but then you look at their numbers and they're doing $10,000, $12,000 a month. Versus I have 2,500 followers and we're doing 120,000 a month, right? It's just like, what is your target audience and what is your goal, right? Is your goal to entertain people and have a cool social media presence? Or is your goal to build a business that actually makes you rich and actually makes you money and actually builds freedom for you?
Now, Brendan, quick question too. Your sales reps, are they based in Charleston? Like, are you with them in person? Are they at the shop? They're not.
Nope. So our old sales reps were. Now we have our sales rep. We only have one sales rep right now, and he's based out of Phoenix, Arizona. So in every morning,
it widens the range of finding a better salesperson. Like, you don't really need them in person.
Exactly. Yeah. So I struggled for months trying to find salespeople, and I would just bring in somebody that would suffice for the time being, even though they weren't really that great. And then I had to take my time out of the day to then help boost sales on the back end. Versus then, like I was talking about earlier on recruiting, right? If we have 100 applicants versus 20, what's going to be our greater chances of finding a great person? 100 applicants, right? So I want to open my net up to be able. I don't care if they're in Dubai. I don't care if they're in California, New York, wherever, as long as they can sit there. And since we have a CRM, we can track and see what our people are doing. How many calls are they making? What's our time between each call? Because once we actually make ourselves a business owner and work on the business versus in the business, then we can focus on than just looking at data. And then we're making data-driven decisions, right? And then we're able to hold our team accountable. Then we're able to lead our team. And then we can figure out, put the puzzle pieces together. Why is our salesperson not making calls, right? Oh, he has something going on at home. Okay, why is our salesperson not making sales, right? Oh, well, he has 5 minutes between each sales call. Every time he gets off a sales call, he goes and takes a leak, or he goes and sits on his phone and scrolls for a few minutes, right? That's not the salesperson we want. So we always have to be holding our team accountable. What is favorite brand of ceramic coating? I mean, we use System X, but I mean, really ceramic coating, guys. Like whether you use System X, whether you guys use, just get something where it's like high quality. You have to be a certified installer, and it's like good stuff. As long as it's good reviews and you guys can get it for a good cost, I mean, just run it, right? It's like Coke and Pepsi. It doesn't really matter. Like that stuff doesn't matter. Products don't matter. As long as you guys have high quality work and can produce some solid results, that's the only thing that matters, guys. Like use Adams, Chemical Guys, who cares? We use Adams and System X. That's all we use. All right, cool. So does anybody have any other questions on marketing? If you have any questions on marketing, drop it in the chat and I'll call on you. If not, we're going to move on to sales.
So where did you find your sales rep? You said just like anywhere? Or?
Yeah, so I mean, you can either throw stuff up on Indeed. I actually, like I said, I focus on leverage over time. So I just went ahead and I paid someone to find me a sales rep. It was $3,000, and I paid a staffing solutions company to find me a sales rep. And they did it within about 2 weeks. I didn't have to do anything. They pre-qualified everybody. They did everything. And that for me, right? Everybody would be like, holy cow, like that's so crazy. You paid $3,000 for a sales rep. But if you look at it, right, I was losing on average $10,000 to $15,000 a month not having a high quality sales rep. That's the way that I look at things, right? Is like somebody's like, oh shit, it's $3,000 up front. No, it actually makes me $10,000 more per month. So I'm actually losing $10,000 a month not having this person inside my business. On top of that, and my time. But to start, I would say like post on. You can always look on LinkedIn. Check on LinkedIn for salespeople, right? There's always people looking on LinkedIn. Post a job post on there. Post a job post on Indeed. Make sure you have it wide range spread across the U.S. And then Better Team as well. Better Team's a good one, and then you can kind of blast it out on all platforms.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course. Anybody else? No? All right, cool. So let's dive into...
Someone just comment in the chat. What company do you use?
Company for what?
Probably marketing.
I did something similar. I used a guy by the name of Chris Campbell. It was $1,500 and he placed a guy on my team within like 2 weeks.
It's amazing. Yeah. It saves us so much trouble. Trains him too. Saves us so much trouble. Bro, get on my camera. All right, cool. Sounds good. And ad agency, right? I don't trust ad agencies. I have a private CMO in-house. But to start, right, use an ad agency to leverage to get you to the point to when you can have a CMO in-house, right?
You mentioned that you only just transitioned over to having your own CMO. Or did you have your own CMO before?
No, I didn't have my own.
He literally transitioned while I was with him. I watched that call.
Well, I had a CMO. So once I got about $50,000 a month, I got a CMO. I used them. They helped me get to about 90, and then I just converted over to another guy. That's the thing, right? Is you guys always have to be looking. Always be recruiting, right? Because my CMO got a little comfortable, right? My CMO drove me from 50 to 120, but now what's it gonna take me to get to $500,000 a month in revenue, right? Because I don't ever want to stop. I never want to stop growing. This business is endless. You see how many freaking cars are on the road? Endless amounts. And my thoughts whenever I'm driving down the road is, why am I not detailing every single one of these cars? That should be every one of your guys' mindset inside of this call, is why am I not detailing every single one of my cars in my city? Because somebody is.
When I fly in the airplane, bro, I look down and I'm like, dude, I just count by twos and I'm like 1,000.
Bro, I live right next to the port where they drop off 1,000 vehicles a week. And I start to get in that scarcity mindset. Shit, we don't have enough ceramic coatings. Bro, there's 1,000 cars right here, brand new, that just got dropped off. And then I drive down the dealership highway and I'm like, what the fuck, dude? There's another 1,000 cars on this highway.
You say you're always recruiting. So like, when you're, so say maybe, you want to be constantly recruiting, but you know you don't want to obviously bring on like 10 people at once. What do you do?
Right.
How do you like constantly keep recruiting and have people there ready to snag up when you need them, but not fully bring them on? Like that was my big question.
Yeah, great question. So I just have them in the pipeline, right?
Gotcha.
I have their contact. We've already screened them and say, hey, Vincent, you know, you're a great fit for our team. And unfortunately, right now at this current moment, we're not actually like ready to bring somebody on exactly at this current standpoint. And here's the thing. Most great people are not going to be jobless, okay? Most great people are not going to be jobless. They're going to be at a job that they currently don't like, or they had a bad experience, or whatever the case is. So you're going to say, hey, let's figure out a way where we can transition you in, right? You keep doing what you're doing, right? If a spot opens up, you're going to be the person to fill that spot if at that time you're still ready to go. But I have 3 of those people, right? So maybe 2 out of those 3 people won't have that spot available, maybe 90 days from now, but somebody will. And then I don't have that mindset of the scarcity mindset of like, oh, I can't lose this person, right? Somebody fucks up a job.
That's huge, bro. Oh, yeah.
Somebody
helped me a lot, Brandon. Thank you for that.
Somebody messes up a job. Now you can't have that conversation with them. Now you can't.
Because I got a guy right now who's like doing his own thing, you know, drops, and he wants to be an entrepreneur himself. And obviously, you know, I want to help him promote that. I want to help him do that because he's just like a good person trying to struggle, like build his own thing, and I want that for him. But obviously, you know, me myself as a business owner, you know, I can't just let him go. So that I think I'm gonna start doing that right away tomorrow. Just have 3 people backed up, lined up. That's huge. Thanks.
It's amazing, bro. It's free on Indeed. It's $30 a month on Better Team, guys. $30 a month for you guys to have security that you guys don't ever have to worry about. If a detailer leaves you, you can still make money and you can still bring somebody in
I
tomorrow.
wish I knew that a year and a half ago.
And then you don't have to fucking pay them $1 million. Like you don't have to you don't like what Hudson says. You don't have your employee have more leverage over you. You don't have to pay them $1 million for them to just stay.
Yeah, bro, they're holding you hostage.
Yeah.
They're holding you hostage in your own business. That's crazy. And you know what? The reason why I learned this is because 3 years ago, I was held hostage. And I said, you know what? I never want to feel like this again. I never want to feel like if I fire this guy today, my business is gone tomorrow and I have to do all the work. It doesn't have to be like that, guys. ABR. Write it on your hand, write it on your forehead. I don't care. It needs to be everywhere. Always be recruiting. Even if you're not ready to bring somebody on, start looking for somebody good. And you know what? If you find somebody better, well, all right, have an alignment meeting with that person and say, hey, you know, we have somebody that might be a better fit, X, Y, and Z, you know, or don't even bring that up, because I don't really like to bring that up because then it turns into this whole argument and things like that. No, I'm better. You just have that conversation with them and you say, hey, your performance hasn't really been there. I want you to grow within the business, right? X, Y, Z, and you lay out the pipeline for them, and then you give them, 14 days. And if they don't straighten up, well, hey bro, we already had the alignment meeting. I already told you what I expected. And since we didn't go what we expected, we're just gonna go ahead and head different direction, brother. I appreciate you being a part of the business, man. You're gonna crush it on your own. And I just feel like I'm holding you back from your potential. You fire him, bring in the new guy, you're crushing, right? Don't even miss a beat. That's how you rock it. All right, cool. I wanna dive into sales. Sales is my freaking favorite, dude. All right, yeah. So Hudson's biggest one of his biggest struggle points is having an enhanced sales system. So owner currently handling all calls. We already talked about opening that net up and getting someone else in, so that way we can not really be held hostage by a salesperson locally, right? They don't have to be in-house, because I'm sure everybody's goal is to be able to run their business from anywhere in the world, right? We want to build freedom with detailing. And it's very simple, right? We're just cleaning cars. We're just protecting vehicles. So we can really run this business from anywhere. So if we can get a salesperson out of state, right, and we can immediately learn how to run a business remotely, that then frees up our time. And then difficulty managing increased lead volume. Like I said in the last call, right? I'm getting on average 550 leads a month, right? Probably on average, I would say anywhere for you guys might be getting 60 to maybe tops 120. And the thing about that is, right, is like once you're getting that's pretty fairly easy to handle 60 to 120 leads, a month, right? Because that's only 2 to 4 leads a day, versus whenever you're getting, let's say, almost 20 leads a day, right? It's a little more complicated. And you guys know how hard it is to get somebody on the phone, right? So immediately, let's say you have 20 come in a day, let's say 10 of them answer the phone, 10 of them don't. Now you have 30 leads tomorrow that you have to contact. And that number just continues to compound. And then all of a sudden you have 200 leads to call in a day. And then you're like, holy shit, how do I handle this? Well, that's where the CRM comes in. That's where automations come in. That's where the CRM works for us when we're not, right? That's what cultivates our leads. Think of a CRM as a farm, right? We have our CRM that's a nice, beautiful farm, and all the things are grazed through, and we have all of our plants plotted, right? Some of them are fully sprouted trees, which are people who have already, stressful as fuck what I'm dealing with right now, have 80 leads to get back to. Exactly, right? So we put them in the CRM. Our CRM is the farm, and all of our leads inside the farm are all plants, right? Some plants sprout faster than others, right? Let's say a tulip sprouts super fast and a rose takes a long time, okay? And that's where the 30, 60, 90-day pipeline comes in. So a lead that comes in, one call closed, great, boom, he's converted. What are we gonna do about the person that we talked to that now we talked to them and they didn't convert, one call closed? Well, now they have to go into the nurture system, right? Well, what are we gonna send them, right? Well, we're gonna send them our offer again. We're gonna engage them, right? We're gonna send them a video of a vehicle that we did, right? Hey, check out this 2024 GMC Denali that we just did, right? Give them a video to watch so that way they see your work. Yeah, you're posting your work on your Instagram, but they're probably not on Instagram all the time. Versus if you send them a direct email or a text message, hey John, check out this 2024 Denali we just ceramic coated, man. And that's an automated message that goes out to your people. Now that's cultivating your people. And now John, a week later, something that he was thinking about, and he was thinking about it, and then he's like, yeah, I want to do that. I'm going to call them. Maybe he forgot to call you. Maybe he lost your number. Whatever happened, now that reminder for him is that video, building that trust, showing him what you're doing right now today, and now that goes out to him, and now he's re-engaged. And now he's like, oh shit, I really wanted to do that. He calls in, hey bro, I saw the video you guys did of the Denali, X, Y, and Z, da-da-da-da. Or if you don't know how to have your automations up and cooking yet, then you send out a mass message, right? We had a day last week. I think it was Tuesday. We were looking a little low on sales, and I met with the salesperson. I'm like, yo, dude, we're looking low on sales right now. We need to get some fucking deals today. Let's crush it, right? Here's the deals that we have in the pipeline. We only have 3 to 5. We need more than that. We need to add an extra 15,000 of revenue next week. We need to close probably at least 8 to 10K today. Are you in? He's like, I'm in, bro. I'm locked in. Cool. I'm going to send out about 1,500 messages today of X, Y, and Z. We're going to do the 50% off ceramic, and we're going to throw in a free interior detail valued at $350. Okay? Phones are going to be ringing off the hook. We got about 35 calls. We booked $12,000. And that's the power of automations. That's the power of having a CRM and all your leads in a place to where they've been getting automated messages, and now they get an offer that they're like, oh fuck, you know, that's amazing. I can get a full interior detail and a ceramic coating, and they call in, and then we book 12 grand, right? And now we have those people still being nurtured that didn't book in for that offer. So that's super huge to have on sales, is get a CRM ASAP. Your Able is not a CRM. Your Able is a scheduling software. Calls occasionally missed. Everybody's gonna have it. We have calls occasionally missed, you know, but I use Open Phone. If you guys aren't on Open Phone, if you guys are using Google Voice, I would use Open Phone. Open Phone is crucial for having that. And you know, that basically, as soon as somebody calls in, it'll send them an automatic message. So if they call in, we miss the call, it says, hey, Open Phone's the go. It's awesome.
Over here. Should be there, right?
So basically, Field as a CRM, no, Field is not a CRM. Field and your Able are the same exact thing, right? It's a scheduling software. It has a CRM feature in it, but it's not to the extent that like Go High Level might have. Or, you know, like I said, I wouldn't recommend HubSpot for you guys. Once we get bigger, I would recommend HubSpot. I didn't convert over to HubSpot until I was doing about $70,000 a month. Because HubSpot's about $1,500 a month, whereas Go High Level has same features, right? And it's about $400 a month.
Do you want to go CTA then questions and kind of round table?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, let me take real quick.
Hold on, let me...
Go for it.
4, real quick.
Yeah, go.
Cool. Yeah, so basically missing phone calls is fine. Open phone will basically send them a message, say, hey, sorry, we missed your call, X, Y, and Z. What can we get your information on? And then from there, then it starts the conversation, and then we can text back and forth as we're on another call, or we can't take the call because we're with family or X, Y, and Z, friends, whatever, and then we push that over. Increasing high ticket sales. That was the one that was it high ticket sales or improving lifetime value? What did you guys want more, 4 or 6? Increasing high ticket sales or improving lifetime value?
4 or 6. I got them pulling up here. Let me see what they're saying. 4, 6, split right now. 4, 4, 4, split. It's split, bro. It's
right,
actually
cool.
split.
I'll cover both real fast.
All right, I read both of them. It's split. A little heavier on 6.
All right, cool. So increasing high ticket sales, that just kind of drives back to the creatives that I was showing you guys, right? I showed you guys the creatives. I hope you guys were paying attention and you guys were taking notes. And if you guys were really smart, you guys would have videoed that, right? You guys should have videoed me walking you through the ad of exactly what I shot, how I shot it, what I said, copy that, and then paste it inside of your business, right?
As I'll post it on the school tonight, guys, for you boys.
That's the boy right there. You guys need to show Vincent some love right there. Vincent was using his head. Nice work, bro. So that's exactly how you guys are going to increase high ticket sales, is run those ceramic coating ads. And like I said, develop engaging and education metal ad creatives, highlighting urgency and benefits. You're going to engage the customer, you're going to educate the customer, and then you're going to make sure that you drive urgency on that value. All right, cool. Improving lifetime value on customers. You got to have customers come back to you. And I'm even optimizing this more on my business. I haven't had it fully dialed in yet, where we're testing out a few different tactics, because my thesis is there's so many people that want ceramic coating in PPF. I can get 1,000 people, probably a month, right? Because there's 800,000 people that live here. I can probably get 1,000 people a month to get a ceramic coating, right? At maximum potential in my business. But, that's how we focus on making sure.
Average ticket of what, 1,200?
Yeah.
1.2 mil.
Exactly. Yeah. So I can get 1,000 people a month at maximum capacity in my market to get a ceramic coating. Obviously, I'm not there yet.
It's only a 10x from where you're at right now, though.
Yeah. I know.
Dang.
So essentially, right, so where we go from there is I'm focused on getting that first time crack. But then from there, once we get the ceramic coating, it's going to say, hey, somebody who's willing to spend $1,500 on the front end, or $3,000 or $5,000 on the front end, is probably willing to spend $178 on the back end and get their car detailed once per month, because obviously they care about that. So everybody looks at, wow, yeah, I can get let's say average of $1,500 per ceramic coating. You can get that on the front end, right, for a full day, which is great. But if you get $178 per month times 12 months, that's actually more than the initial one, which is $2,136. So how do you make your pitch so good that once somebody gets the ceramic coating, it's going to say, hey, you're going to have a brand new car every single month. This is going to protect it initially, but yes, it still has to be maintained. It has much less maintenance, right, which is the common misconception of ceramic coating. But we're going to come out and maintain it. Our original detail package is usually $325. We're going to come take care of you every month, so we have a fresh car reset every month for $178. Does this sound like something that makes sense for you? And usually the average income of a person spending $1,500 on a ceramic coating is anywhere from $100,000 all the way up to a couple mil a year. You don't think they have $2,000 a year to spend to make sure their vehicle looks flawless every single month?
What style of objections do you see with that? And how did you establish that price of like 170 something?
Honestly, just being like 200's a lot, 150's too cheap, 175's in the middle, and then I don't know, sometimes it's like we have an exterior detail package which is 184. I don't know, sometimes I just throw random numbers in there. I just kind of felt like that was like a good number, so I liked the number and I was like, all right, I'm just gonna charge it. But the objections that I get would be, some people are like, because some people do come in that might make $50,000 a year, and they're like, hey, I maintain my car myself, so I want to get something to make easier maintenance. That's fine, right? But if we do 20 coatings a month and we can get 50% of those clients to convert, right? Or on average, throw in the chat, how many coatings are you guys doing a month? Throw in the chat. I want to see how many coatings you guys are doing a month. 5 to 10, 5, 30, 0, 6 to 10, 10, 10 to 20. Okay, let's say on average number here is 10. If we can get 5 people, 50% of those clients a month to convert, right? That's 178 times 5. That's an additional 890 the next month. Every month we do that, we times that by 12. At the end of a year, you guys have $10,680 in monthly recurring revenue in your business from getting 5 maintenance clients a month, guys. And that's not including the details that you guys are doing, right? Let's say you guys are doing 30 details a month. You guys get 30% of those people. That's an extra 10, right? So it's looking at small numbers that might seem so small that you guys are like, dude, that's only $890 next month. I'm trying to do 15K. But over the course of 12 months, it compounds. And let's say in 12 months, you guys would be doing 30, but now you're actually doing 40 because you guys actually took the time to upsell your customer there at the point of sale. You didn't push it hard, but you guys just work the numbers, right? Sales is just numbers. You figure out what that conversion is, you play it back into real time, and you say, hey, if I convert today, what is the cost over 12 months or over 6 months, right? And this is how the small things add up. Just changing a couple small things here and there is where it goes from there. But yeah, the objections are mainly like, oh, like I can get it cheaper. Oh, I can do this. That's fine, right? We're not ever hard closing anybody on a detail, guys. It's a detail. It's a luxury. We're never hard closing anybody. I've never hard closed anybody on a ceramic coating who did not want it and I got them to want it. I've hard closed somebody on somebody who was gonna go with another shop. Fuck yeah. Bro, they're not going with another shop. If they're gonna get a ceramic coating done, they're coming with me, because if they don't, I'm doing them a disservice of allowing them to go to another shop because I know my product's the best and they're gonna get the best experience with me. So look at that, of everyone that you don't sell that is going to get it, that has high intent of buying, to go with you, because if you don't, that's a disservice to your client. Any questions on sales? Any question on building?
Let's go our show of hands first and then we'll do that.
Cool.
Okay. All right, let me switch over real quick and get my stuff going. Boom. Okay, can you guys hear me? Oh, turn that off. Real quick, type a 1 in chat if that was stupid valuable. We're not done quite yet, but 1 in chat if that was stupid valuable. And I think it freaking was. Oh, woo!
Let's go.
Crushed it, bro. Now, a lot of you guys already had some experience with Brandon from the Driven Elite event that we did in January. He came out as one of our speakers, but only came out for a day. So I didn't really get a chance to spend time with him, just kind of got some of the value from that initial meeting. But dude, this dude is the real deal. I did not expect to pull up and see $10,000 days worth of detailing PPF and ceramics. I thought, he's probably doing 3, 4, maybe $5 grand a day. Like, this dude is smart. He's genuine, cares about it's been a great experience. So what I want to do real quick before we go into question and so forth is I want you to type a 2 in chat if you're currently making $15,000 a month or more. 15 a month or more. If you're at 14.5, we can let you slide. If you're at 14.2, maybe we can let you slide. If you feel like you're doing 15K a month, but the actual number's only 11 or 12, but your social media number's 15K a month, maybe I'll let you slide. But let's go 15K a month or more, type it 2. Now, I do have somebody here that is Samsung SM and then Zoom user. Those of you guys that are not logged in with your actual number or your actual account, type your name in chat so I can actually know who it is. Okay, what if you did 15K for the first time this month? That's fine. That's fine. All right, yeah, 2 in chat if you're doing 15K a month or more. Benjamin Weimer, I'm going to allow you to slide up and be one of that, so go ahead and put 2 in chat, please. Oh, you already did, actually. Ben, are you doing 15? You're close, right? Yeah, you are. Yeah, okay. His social media number is 15K per month. All right, I'll just give you guys a second. What if you're projected to hit 15K next month? No, I'm going to let you keep working. 2. 15K next year. No, Latif. No. All right, let's get everybody here. Did everybody do 2? 2. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all of you guys that are 2s in a group chat, because Wednesday night at 8 p.m., we're going to go over something specifically for you guys that is going to involve flying you guys out to Charleston, South Carolina to do exactly what I've done over the last couple of days, okay? The next level for Driven Elite is going to be here. And I see Rob smiled at that. Bro, it's going to be huge. It's genuinely been life-changing to be here with Brandon. Okay, so let's go. All right, twos all around. Let me go ahead and count these up. So I'm going to group chat my twos. Is there a maximum limit on the amount of people that we can put on a group chat on iMessage, bro? There's not? Okay.
We have like 30 people.
Okay, all right, let's go. Rob, we're going to add Ben. Twos all around, y'all. If there's any more twos, do your twos. Or forever hold your peace. Sam Games. We got Braden, Stacy. We got Ashton Turin. Bro, and like I said at the start of this call, there's a lot of freaking you guys that are saying two that I coached up to there, which just makes me so happy. So proud of you guys. This is like the most fulfilling thing I've ever done. Moses. Bro, Moses, did you get that testimonial made for me, bro? That new car you bought? All right, let's see. Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on. What's up, Moses? I don't know why my thing's not working. I can't hear nobody.
You always too good for us, man. Come on.
He's at the gym.
Oh, there we go. Turn that off.
Fucking steak.
All right, Matt. We got Vincent Caruso. We got Kyle. We got Jesse. I got Emmanuel Mendoza. I've got Manny Messon. Manuel Messon.
Yo, Hudson, can I ask Brandon one more question? I got to dip soon because I got to call with my setter.
Yeah, go. I got Kyle Hannon.
Yo, Brandon, real quick, just let me know when you're unmuted.
Oh, yeah, go. Here, let me switch it over. Oh, by the way, real quick before you say that, Vincent, some of you guys have Samsungs. I can't put you in the group chat, but I'm going to text you directly because I don't want to frick up this iMessage group chat. I might actually do some iPhone giveaways next month for those of you that have Samsungs because we can't have that. If you're making money and if you're making money and you don't have an iPhone, I'm going to kick you out. I'm serious. It's that bad. I don't care if the technology and the features are better. You show up as green on my phone. I don't like it. I'm playing. I don't like it.
All right, go ahead, mute yourself.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm at the point right now where, like, I'm delegating, the guys coming in, I'm gonna do what you said and told me to do is obviously ABR, always be recruiting. Like, everything's going in the right direction. The only point where I'm at right now is kind of like, I wanna get into a shop, and here in, New Jersey, like, shops are fairly expensive, just because of the real estate and all that. I wanna get a shop in a good location, and I definitely think I could save up the amount of money to do that. Although right now at the mobile company, I got one van, I got two guys currently, it's going great, everything's really going great, there's nothing really holding me back. Although what I'm trying to figure out is I'm on that middle road right now, the middle road of saving, because obviously I want to invest in a company to make it grow, but I'm kind of trying to attain that middle route so I can save up tons of money to get a shop, but I'm just like in the middle. Like, obviously I want to scale the company to 2 vans, get more employees, but at the same time I feel like if I just focus on, 1 van, 2 guys, that perfect middle point, well, less saving money and less investing, obviously working in Driven Elite as well to help me save more money. I just that's where I'm at right now, just finding that middle point. I just don't know if that's the best thing to do. I just want to get it second back by you because obviously you've done it.
So you're trying to figure out whether you should jump into a shop right now or later?
Yeah, just not exactly that, but I know that for certain by November I want to get into a shop.
Right.
I just want a decent amount of money saved up, obviously, just because, a little bit of cushion for myself. 2, they're expensive in New Jersey, I just want to save up money for that. But the thing is, for me to get to that point and save up that money, I need to, obviously watch my spending and budget and all that. And obviously part of that is a little bit less investing into the company. So, I'm just confused if I should just stay at this middle ground of 2 guys in 1 van and just consistently push and save up to about $100,000 for that shop and also do the Driven Elite and the content stuff, or I should ramp up. Because right now what I think is good, and I just obviously want it backed by you, is what I think the move is to just stay with 1 van, 2 guys, always be recruiting. I have 3 guys ready to go, but then just focus on content and just kind of find that middle ground, save up $100,000 for a shop, and then boom, get in that shop and just start ripping. But because I don't want to scale too fast, but I want to scale. I just want to. That's the main question I've been having for you.
Right. So here's the key thing, right? Is you're doing $30K a month, yeah?
Yeah, around that 20 to 30.
Okay.
But I definitely think I can hit like a consistent like 30K this summer, especially with my new like sales systems and stuff in place.
Absolutely, bro. I mean, the thing is like we have to optimize what we have until we move further, right? And that's exactly what I did. 2 guys, 1 van. In 30 days, we did 54,000 cash collected, right? And the reason why I say it's so crucial to do that is because, you know, like I'll share here real quick. This is my year able for last week, by the way, guys, 29,395. But let's say, you know, for field, I'll go on my old field software because this is what I was using last year. You guys can see my screen, yeah?
Yep.
Fuck, I'm not in the wrong. Hold on. Whoop. Give me 1 second, guys. Let me rock this out for you guys. All right. So I'll show you guys last year timeline real quick. Last year, 2024, March 1st to 30th. All right, cool. So let me share now. You guys can see, yeah?
Yep.
Sweet. So this is what I did March 1st to March 31st. And as you can see, our average service revenue was only $417, and we had $23,862 done in the month of March with 1 guy and 1 van. Then we take it to April 1st to 30th, 2 guys, 1 van, $53,934. So I would say until you guys optimize to 2 guys and 1 van, I would be, you know, I would be happy to see 40 grand, right? Because then that means we're selling higher tickets. Because do you know how many jobs you're doing right now per month?
Yeah, it's about like 50.
Okay, and on average you're doing 25,000 divided by 50. So your average.
Something I was thinking about too, though, just like pushing my ticket, and that's one of the few limiting beliefs I've had was just like the up in the ticket with all that. But I know I just need to jump in and do it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And all that.
Absolutely, yeah. Because your average service revenue right now is $500 per vehicle. Let's say if you on average did 25,000, you did 50, versus if we stayed at 50, but we increase that service revenue by 200, and we take that to 700. Immediately, that bumps you up 10K to 35,000, right?
Yeah.
And then we bump it up a little bit more.
I'm thinking now I can probably even hit 40 with 2 guys in 1 van, you know.
Bro, absolutely.
And they're both getting good at paint corrections as well too, so I can do 1-steps with them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So I would say like let's get you, and also too, are your Facebook ads dialed in? Is your CRM automations dialed in, right? Is your CRM dialed in? Is all of that stuff dialed in? Because the reason why I had $14,000 of lost revenue from May to June is because I didn't have these things dialed in, right?
Got you. I've been working with a dude named Sebastian. I use his system for lead connector. He's got an amazing pipeline system. That's one of the things I've just started doing, but you know, I've already seen an increase of just like better client retention and all that type of stuff. He's got amazing automations in place, you know, and that's like one thing that I think is making me excited for this summer, is mainly because I got that new sales system in place. And it made me more, like on this call tonight, I was more happy because everything that you said, you know, qualified everything I was doing, which made me very happy with all that. But I got a dip though, I got to call my setter. Also, to most of you guys here on this call, make sure you definitely guys are engaging more. I feel like I'm the only one really talking. I want you guys to just jump in and talk, you know. Like one of the things that helped me get where I am, because I was making $3K a month a year ago when I first joined Journal Elite. And literally at that first event, I was surrounded by a couple millionaires, and I was like, yeah, I was a little shy, but I said, fuck it, and I talked. Guys, if you guys just talk, I'm telling you, you guys will get more value. More other people will get more value. Just go ahead and talk. Don't be nervous. Brandon and them, they're all normal people, brother. They want to talk. You know, that's the whole point of these Zooms. I want to hear more of you guys talking, just being fluent on these Zooms. Don't be scared to cut someone off. You're just going to, like, unmute your mic and just jump in. You know, it's going to help everyone.
Speaking of which, is it cool if I can ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead. All right. Brandon,
love you, Vincent. Peace, bro.
Thank you. I'll be in touch. See you, boys.
See you, Vince. Good, Vincent, my bye. Yo, Brandon, thanks for again hosting this event.
Of course.
You mentioned something very interesting just a couple minutes ago when you were having the forecast revenue of March of 2024 and then 2024 April. you said that in March of 2024, you had one van and one guy, and they had 24,000 in revenue. The next month, you had two guys in one van, and you doubled the revenue, which is very interesting because Hudson has mentioned in the past, even myself have experienced this. Whenever I put two guys in one van, or whenever Hudson puts two guys in one van, it's not twice as much efficient or twice as much revenue. It's only about 30% faster. So how did you, I guess, work around this?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's the conversation that Hudson and I had at the Driven Elite event, which is how we were able to, over the course of the last year, I've been able to optimize and study that, right? And that mostly applies to details, right? On details, the basically return on manpower on that is not high enough to put two people on it. Versus the ceramic coating, there is. And the main thing that we were focused on, like that month we did 54,000. I think we did 90 jobs, right? And we were selling ceramics for only $700 at that time, right? Mobile ceramics were $700, one-step correction, 5-year coating, and they were $700. Flying off the shelf, right? Let's say we did probably 70 of those were ceramics, and then 20 of those were details. We were able to do a ceramic in half of a day, right? So we were doing 2 ceramics a day with 2 guys on a mobile van. So whenever you're talking in details, yes, absolutely. It's only about 30% more efficient, which is why now I have one guy on my mobile van doing my detailings, right? And he prints those, right? We get 20,000 a month from our mobile detailing van just doing details. But in terms of the ceramic line, I doubled. And for you guys to know what I did in that shift from March until April, I went from spending about $1,800 on marketing. I found the creatives that worked. They were ripping. I found the systems, the processes, all the stuff, sales, marketing, and I just doubled it. I doubled it for month 1, and I went offensive in my business. I did not say I need to save money. I did not say, oh, I just made a lot of money this month. I need to stash some in the bank, right? Why are we doing this? To make more money, guys. Reinvest the profit that you make this month into next month. And I didn't have to reinvest all the profit. That's the crazy thing, was I literally I made $24,000 month 1, and then in month 2 we did 54, and all I did was reinvest $1,800 more and then put another person inside the van.
Did you have a CMO yet at that point, or were you still using an agency for marketing?
No, I was using an agency. Yeah, I was using an agency at that point, and like I said, whenever good creatives are built, right, it's kind of hard, not to get great results, right? That's why I focus on the creatives, right? It's like you can pretty much get anybody to run your ads that knows, their elbow from their ass. But essentially, kind of what you want to do is just focus on building an amazing creative that captivates the audience, engages the audience, and builds that urgency for the offer. So once you do that, then you can find a marketing agency or a friend or family, or figure out how to do it yourself, run the ads, scale the ads. But then once you hit that point of, like I said, 75K, then that's the point of where it's like, okay, now you're spending a threshold, right? Facebook has a threshold to where, like I said, once you get to that point, you can only spend so much and get the benefits out of it, right? So like if I doubled my ad spend right now, I wouldn't get double the amount of leads because there's other ways that I have to optimize. There's other avenues that I have to take. But for you guys, like I said, focus on building amazing, professional, high quality shot creatives. And if they're not perfect, guys, don't settle for anything less. Do not settle for anything less than perfect on your creatives, because if you're going to put thousands of dollars behind them, why are you going to waste money? Right? Like, would you want the whole world seeing this ad? If yes, send it and go show it to a couple 100,000 people.
Hey, Brandon. I just had a quick question on, I know we didn't really cover too much of it tonight, but more or less your dealership gigs. So I, in my business, have a lot of dealership revenue in comparison to clientele. And I just hired my first employee, and it's going pretty good. I really want to outsource that completely, but I've been also trying to generate more dealerships because I'm around a lot. And I was just kind of curious how you go about initially contacting them. As far as just, I usually walk in and try to talk to the manager, but lately I've been kind of looking at printing out brochures that I can hand them after the fact.
Yeah, I got you. So
on top of that, also just how did you introduce PPF to them? Because I would love to introduce that to my current dealership.
Yeah, absolutely. So you have a dealership partnership already?
Yeah.
Amazing. And real quick, what does that look like? Are you doing recons for them, ceramic coatings? What does that look like?
It's basically full details on all the cars. It's their wholesale cars are pretty much their shittier cars, and then their resales are their nicer ones, but they pay me $190 a car, and I do a complete detail plus a quick engine bay.
How many a month?
Right now, the contract just went into place, but they guarantee me 8 a week, so it's about $6,000 a month.
Amazing, dude. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. You guys take notes from this, guys. So I mean, that's great what you did. I don't like the brochure. I don't like that kind of stuff. It just kind of seems like salesy, right? And the manager is not who we need to talk to inside the dealership, right? It's the used car sales manager, right? Because the GM's always stacked up. The GM's got this pedestal that he's sitting on, and it's just like, he doesn't know you. He doesn't want to talk to you. So whenever I go in, guys, you have to do your research before you go in there. I go on ChatGPT, I say, hey, this is the dealership I'm walking into. Who is the used car sales manager? Boom, Peter John. Awesome, cool. Hey, Sally, how you doing today? Amazing, good, how are you? Hey, I was just curious if Peter was available. We were chatting before. I just wanted to see if he was available. Yeah, he is? Awesome, yeah. Show me his office. Perfect. Go in there, talk to Peter. Hey, Peter, how's it going, man? My name is Brandon with Elite Pro Detailing. How you doing today? Perfect, amazing, awesome. Just wanted to stop by real quick. We're the #1 detailer here in Charleston. Just wanted to see how many recons are you guys currently doing a month? Awesome, sounds great. And are you guys doing them in-house or are you guys outsourcing? Great, and what's the average cost on those? Awesome, and then what's the average turn time? Okay, great. Listen, if I can decrease your turn time, increase your quality, and have the same cost attached to each recon, is that something that would be worth 5 to 10 minutes of your time? Boom! What are they looking for? Faster turn time, because then they can trade a car in and get it faster on the lot. What are they looking for? Cost efficiency. They want to pay the same cost. They have a budget. And then also, what are they looking for? A better product. All these companies that are reconning their cars do shit quality. They don't care. The cars look like ass. And then once they go out on the lot and the salesperson tries to sell them, it has to go back to recon. Hey, the tires didn't get shined. Hey, this didn't happen. Hey, this didn't get happen. So you make that promise of saying, hey, if I can increase quality, decrease turn time, and have the same cost, is that something that would be worth 5 to 10 minutes of your time? You've got his attention. I promise you, he is going to say yes. And then you show him what you've done. You tell him X, Y, and Z. You build that relationship. Say, hey, I know you guys might not need something right now, but I just want to be a resource for you. If you guys ever go to auction and you guys go purchase 50 cars and you guys get backed up, give me a call. We'll come out here and knock out 20 for you, kind of show you what we can do. Aside from that, if you guys need anything at all, paint correction, high-end detailing, or ceramic coating, give us a call. We're the #1 in town. Give them your business card, walk out. You're going to call them 2 weeks later. You're going to call them every 2 weeks after that. Make an amazing impression. Get your pitch down. Practice it 100 times. That way it comes out clean and smooth. If I can increase your quality, decrease your turn time, and the cost is the same, is that something that would be worth 5 to 10 minutes of your time? Bro, who's going to say no?
Hi, Brandon. This is Cole, King of Detailing. I'm from Kentucky. I missed the front end of this conversation. I was helping my grandparents with some stuff. But I am struggling with a small town, a lot of side detailers, and we do have some really good detail competition here. However, I wouldn't put myself in too much competition with them. I know what I'm capable of doing. I did my first 11K month last month, which was actually my first full month in business with my van. I've been side detailing for a really long time. I just finally stepped into the Elite Driven with Hudson. He's been really helpful and motivational for me to be able to take this to an actual career. So basically where I'm at is I am a perfectionist. Me and him have talked about this. I'm doing too much. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting too good of results from every detail that I'm in, because I'm finding myself doing the same for the lower tickets as the high tickets because I'm a perfectionist. I feel like I'm just doing too much. I'm spending too many hours. So that's what I'm struggling with here, because I'm trying to kind of overcompensate with trying to shut down all these side detailers. But like, come to me, I can get it right.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Amazing. No, I love that. So here's an easy thing, right? So for me, customer service is more important, right? Customer service is the most important piece of everything, right? You go into a place, you don't remember how the food tastes, you remember how you got treated.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what's key here is I will tell you wholeheartedly, Elite Pro Detailing, we probably do not have the best product in town. You know why? Because there's people that have been detailing for 40 years who are going to spend 16 hours on a ceramic coating, and we're not. Okay? Do we deliver a damn good product that's amazing? Yes. Yes, we do. Do we have the best customer service? You're absolutely freaking right. You know why? Because every time you call in and we answer the phone, it's a great day at Elite Pro Detailing. This is Steven. Right? Something as simple as that of making the best customer service, if there's an issue that occurs, you're immediately on it. Right? Somebody doesn't have to wait 3 hours for you to respond back to a text message or a phone call. So I would take all that time that you're spending on the details and focus a little more on customer service. Right? Because we're always worried about making sure the product's absolutely perfect versus focusing on making sure the customer experience is absolutely amazing. Because if you provide a damn good product, like let's be realistic, bro, somebody's not going to be too concerned if there's a tiny streak inside the door jamb. Let's be real, a customer's not going to be too concerned if there's one little piece of dirt inside of the fender well, right? You know, there's only so many hours that you can detail in a car because the car's just going to drive right down the road and get dirty again.
Yeah.
Now, you don't want bugs on the windshield, right? You don't want bugs on the front end. You don't want dirt on the mud flaps. But, you know, you have to be reasonable and logistical. But you can't scale a business spending 6 hours on a $300 detail.
That's what I'm doing. It's more like 8 hours. And I'm killing myself doing it because I know I'm doing too much.
Yeah, so figure out how to make your process more efficient, right? This is what I did. I studied the detail process, right? I would record myself of me detailing a car. And I would figure out where am I losing time, right? And once you figure out where you're losing time, maybe you can get better tools, right? Maybe you can do X, Y, and Z. The way that I focus it on is on every detail. We start at the same place and end at the same place on a detail. So we get there, we do the interior. We start on the driver's side. What you have to do, coat the driver's side door, coat the driver's seat, and then coat the steering wheel. Let everything sit. You're going to start on the driver door. Boom, work your way around, and then the back door, then seat, right? You have a process because probably what you're doing is you're going through the vehicle, you jump from the driver door back to the back driver door, back to the front passenger, then the driver, right? You're bouncing all around trying to make all these tweaks versus do a full detail and then get the things most noticeable. Somebody's not going to notice something on the back seat, bro. They don't sit in the back seat. They sit in the front seat on the steering wheel. Spend your most time there, get everything else clean, provide a good product, and focus on giving the best customer experience possible because people remember how they feel. Not what you say, not what you do, but how you make them feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Let's go ahead and wrap up, y'all. So we have to go for another, hold on. What's up, y'all? We have to go record some other clips at Brandon's shop. It's 10 p.m. for us. I'm leaving 8 a.m. tomorrow for Miami. This was a fire call. I think I'm going to make somebody host, leave you guys on because you guys end up absolutely crushing it until like 2 a.m. sometimes. Now, for those of you that I put in that $15,000 per month group chat, I need you to let me know whether or not you're going to be there at 8 p.m. Eastern this Wednesday for us to plan a Charleston trip for you guys to come out and do exactly what I've done over the last handful of days. It's going to be that important. For those of you that are not at $15K per month, let's continue working together, scale up. This summer is going to be huge. I want you to understand one thing, that those of you that are here inside Driven Elite are going to have the resources that you need to be top dog in your city. Full stop. We're not going to allow any other person to outcompete any one of you. You're all exceptionally talented. You've seen how much care I've put into this community over the last year, how much we've grown, how much everyone has worked with one another. I am very, very proud of each one of you, and I'm so thankful for the opportunity that you have given me to be a leader for you. So continue to share your feedback with me on how I can steward this responsibility better. We're going to be ripping that $1,500 MacBook giveaway this next Sunday, and then starting the next giveaway, which is probably going to have 3 different prizes back to back to back. So this is going to be absolutely insane. Who wants to be host of this? Just somebody type 1 in chat, and then you can be host.
I'll do it.
Colt? Yeah, absolutely. Let me make Colt host real quick. on my computer. Make host. Perfect. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, boys, want to say appreciate y'all. Let me.
Birthday, right? Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Appreciate y'all, boys.
Let's do it. Yeah. Everybody turn your mic on. Hold on. This is going to sound terrible. Hold on. Wait. I want to record it, though. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. I got to record it. Hold on. Hold on. Shut up. No, I got to record it.
Start us off.
Wait, Latif, you start it off. Latif, you lead it.
Happy birthday to you, Brandon. Happy birthday to you.
Yay!
Appreciate y'all boys letting me hop on, bro. You guys crush it.
Peace, y'all. Appreciate it loads. Bye. Now, I want to stress one final thing to you right now, and that's the fact that if you're already watching this without implementation, you're already too late. Because imagine what happens when somebody else inside Driven Elite has all the playbooks, all the systems that they need to scale their business and dominate their market pops up in your city. And you're left without that proper implementation. So you could take all of this stuff, and I hope you took notes. You could take those notes and you could start applying it step by step, and you would have success. But ultimately, what we're doing inside Driven Elite is custom tailor fitting every single blueprint, every single strategy, every single playbook to make sure that you have the exact roadmap that is going to work for your situation. So, like I said, the point of this video is not to sell you on my program, but it is to give you a full walkthrough of exactly what is happening inside the businesses of 150 people across the country that are each dominating each one of their cities, and extend a hand out to you and say, you know what, this is your last chance for me to help you grow, for me to walk you through the exact playbooks that you're going to need to dominate your market before I install another detailer in your city. So if that is something that you need help with, go ahead and book a free strategy call with my team where we will understand what's going on inside of your business, regardless of what situation you're in. Somebody making $3,000 to $5,000 per month needs to hit their first $10,000 a month. Maybe you're somebody like some of our elite members that are already doing $10,000 to $20,000 per month, but you need to scale and capture more of your market share with additional employees, mobile detailing vans, all of those things. If that fits you, go ahead and schedule that free strategy call. Let's have a chat. Let's see what's going on inside your business and see whether or not we can take you to that next level before somebody else takes you.